Morning from 5 to 7 on the Morning Rush on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Babe, where are my keys?
Where's my lunch?
Where's my phone? Hey, where's my blue shirt?
Where's my pen? Have you seen it?
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
I woke up at 2 in the morning to be here. Where were you?
Once you allow it, right, then it sets you up for the entire week where you just have lost it.
Like on a Sunday, it's like, oh, let's just order some Chinese food, and of course you wind up eating tons of that. And then on Monday, you're like, well, I got leftovers, I can't let it go to waste.
Auntie wants to give you a plate to take home from the barbecue.
Auntie.
Auntie, don't invite me to the barbecue.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
The 11Alive app is your go-to source for all things Atlanta.
You hear what happened today? I'll tell you all about it.
Breaking news the moment it happens.
The boil water advisory.
Hyper-local, accurate weather alerts.
You may want to grab that sweater, maybe even a coat.
More stories to uncover. More videos to discover.
He did it his way.
Personalized for you.
And that's what makes it so special.
The 11Alive app. Available now in the App Store.
11Alive News Primetime on the ATL starts now.
We begin tonight's newscast with breaking news as Emory Healthcare reports its fourth death related to the coronavirus. That's the fourth in the state.
We're also learning more information about the two people who died in Albany, one a 42-year-old woman and the other a 69-year-old woman, both with pre-existing medical conditions. Across the state, we now have 197 cases in 28 counties, as we learn about more closures and a growing need in our hospitals.
As the cases rise, we are seeing a more aggressive response. Several malls in Metro Atlanta are now closing tonight. South Fulton is issuing a curfew to try and curb the spread, and the president is offering more specifics about how the government plans to help people with stimulus checks.
And we have more breaking news tonight. NBC News is reporting the first member of Congress to test positive for COVID-19 is Mario Diaz-Balart. He is now in quarantine in Washington, D.C. NBC News says he is avoiding his home in South Florida, where his wife, who is at risk, lives. Diaz-Balart is the brother of NBC News weekend anchor Jose Diaz-Balart.
Well, it's easy to become overwhelmed by all of this information that's trickling in throughout the day, but our team is working to put it into perspective, sharing the facts to stop disinformation. We're starting first with Joe Hinkey breaking down the new number of cases here in Georgia.
The Georgia Department of Public Health is only confirming one death related to COVID-19, that being a case from last Thursday in Cobb County. But a hospital in Dougherty County is confirming 2 of its patients have now died from the same virus. That would bring the state total that we know of to 3 deaths so far. Meanwhile, here in Fulton County, Fulton continues to outpace the rest of Georgia's counties when it comes to total confirmed cases. A spokeswoman for Phoebe Putney Health System in the city of Albany confirmed with 11Alive the death of 2 patients. State numbers show as of today, Dougherty County reported a total of 7 confirmed COVID-19 cases. For the entire state, Georgia Department of Public Health updated totals show there are now 197 confirmed cases in the state across 28 counties. 1 week ago, the state number sat at 31 cases in only 12 counties. More than 1,000 tests have been completed by commercial labs and 400 plus at the state's lab, with 13% of people testing positive for the virus.
Our supplies of testing kits are still limited through the state of Georgia, and the state is working on increasing that number and capability as we speak.
Dr. Janet Memark, director of Cobb and Douglas County Public Health, provided details from a drive-through testing clinic today opened at Jim Miller Park. She said with less than 50 tests on hand, the clinic is only open to high-risk people, doctors invited, in an effort to keep people who are sick away from more people at a hospital.
A lot of it has just been flu symptoms magnified.
Over FaceTime, we talked with Marietta Councilwoman Cheryl Richardson. She is quarantined at home after testing positive late last week.
So I was careful not to touch things, and to use the hand sanitizer.
Feeling fine a week ago, she went to the Cobb Energy Center to hear the opera on March 10th. A day later, she woke up with a fever and cough, called her doctor, and he helped her get tested for a list of illnesses before testing for COVID-19. She urges anyone feeling sick to avoid leaving home.
So all they can do is treat your symptoms. So stay home, call your doctor, see if your doctor will call in a prescription, and just stay home.
And COVID-19 continues to be found in more and more counties around the state. Today, Whitfield and Houston joined the list of counties reporting confirmed cases.
And again, we do have new information from Emory Healthcare confirming their first death from COVID-19, putting the total number of deaths here in Georgia at 4. Now on to Fulton County, where officials are stepping up their efforts to stop the spread. And it was all starting with a local state of emergency. 11Alive's Chanu Hur explains.
Board Chairman Rob Pitts says the Board of Commissioners met via teleconference for the first time ever today. And during that meeting, they declared a state of emergency for Fulton County. Chairman Pitts says by doing so, the county can now ask for federal and state funding should they become available. He says the county is also in a position to relax purchasing rules and regulations if they need to buy emergency equipment and supplies. Pitts says they're taking the lead of Governor Kemp and credits the governor for helping the county move forward aggressively.
But he's also, though, given us at the local level the opportunity to make adjustments as we see fit. So that really was the impetus for us declaring the state of emergency in Fulton County.
Positive cases of COVID-19 continue to rise in Fulton County. Coming up on 11Alive News Primetime on the WATL, I'll tell you why they're trending so high in Fulton County and walk you through the numbers from the last several days.
The spike in cases in certain counties is not exactly unexpected when you consider the size of their populations, but there is one county that is standing out. Take a look at the number of cases in the top counties compared to how many people live in each one. Fulton, Cobb, and DeKalb topping the list, but they have the biggest populations in the state. Bartow is nearly 20 cases. Its population over 100,000. Part of the reason we're seeing a cluster there is because a person inside of a church and got sick, other church members were exposed there. Tonight, Caitlin Ross talking to a couple from that church. The husband has tested positive, the wife has not, and they have come up with some creative solutions to stay separated in their home, but they still feel connected to one another through this.
Susie Bentley was so excited to hear her husband sing at the church at Liberty Square 2 weeks ago. But the next day, Clay says he felt so bad he went to urgent care, where they told him he tested negative for the flu and sent him home.
I told the hospital, I said, I feel like y'all sent me home to die.
He was readmitted a few days later when he says he was finally tested for coronavirus. It was positive. He was hospitalized for 12 days.
This past Wednesday night, I thought it was over for me because I got to the point to where I couldn't breathe anymore.
But he kept improving, and just yesterday got the all clear to go home and self-quarantine.
I got up at 3:30 the day I knew that he was coming home.
Susie is sleeping in the guest bedroom, and she says she set up the master bedroom for Clay. They're getting creative with keeping their family traditions, like drinking coffee together in the morning.
I went in my little bedroom, and he went in his bedroom, and we just talked on the phone with our cup of coffee.
Susie has not been tested for COVID-19, but is reporting her temperature to the health department twice a day and wearing a mask and gloves around the house.
So I feel corona-free, and I have been with the enemy. I mean, we were in cars together, and we were sharing a bedroom and a bathroom, and
she says they're trying to appreciate the downtime they have together while Clay recovers.
You cannot respond and live in fear. It will eat you alive.
We are watching a few showers and even some thunder and lightning well over to the east of us right now. In Atlanta, we're actually doing okay. We just have a few showers over on the east side that were in parts of Gwinnett County earlier, Walton County, Barrow County. You've got a few showers there, but the strongest activity is now just to the east of Athens. Here's Athens right here, and you see over near Crawford and Vesta, we have a shower there that has some lightning with it. Also south of Athens, if you go south of Watkinsville, moving down toward Greene County, this area of rain is pretty heavy. This is on the north end of Lake Oconee, right along I-20 there on the north side, where we have some really heavy rain and thunder and lightning. We've detected about 8 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes with this, and this is moving up toward the north and to the east, so it's going to be moving away. But you can see how some of those showers have been scattered around over on the east side. Still some of those near Monroe right now that keep moving on up to the north and to the east. We're going to see a break in the action tomorrow, and then during the evening hours, we're going to see a lot of this settling down as well. But then another system comes in once we get toward the end of the week. That's the same system that's causing severe weather back into Texas right now. Stay with us. We'll let you know whether or not you need to be concerned about any severe weather risk for the end of the week. More on that in just a few minutes.
Chris, thank you. Testing still a major concern here in Georgia. During a press briefing today, the Trump administration was asked specifically about the situation in Atlanta. NBC News reporting Atlanta public health directors say they have less than 50 kits for the nearly 1 million people living in Atlanta. In response, the White House task force coordinator says the test kits put out last week were ineffective and that facilities are moving to a new platform that can run thousands of tests a day. With additional tests, she says there could potentially be a spike in positive cases nationwide.
We will see the number of people diagnosed dramatically increase over the next 4 to 5 days. I know some of you will use that to raise an alarm that we are worse than Italy because of our slope of our curve. To every American out there, it will be 5 to 6 days worth of tests being run in 24 to 48 hours. So our curves will not be stable until sometime next week.
The president also announcing today he is invoking the Defense Production Act. This allows him to force American businesses to produce materials such as ventilators and medical supplies in the national defense. The president also announced the Department of Housing and Urban Development is providing immediate relief to renters and homeowners by suspending all foreclosures and evictions until the end of April. The Treasury Department will also be asking Congress for $500 billion as part of a $1 trillion stimulus package to combat the economic effects of the pandemic. The 2 rounds of direct payments would be sent to taxpayers, the first coming on April 6th, the second on May 18th. But this still needs to be approved. We'll be digging into that and the details of it coming up at 9.
It is the self-contradicting advice that is both killing the economy and arguably curbing the pandemic. Many of us are in a state of self-quarantine this week, and it presents many challenges. Here's 11Alive's Doug Richards, who has been talking to people about it.
Self-quarantine had some early adapters as long as a couple of weeks ago. Ruby Cresswell is a latecomer.
I was supposed to go into work today, but I woke up with a severe cough and I have a low-grade fever right now.
The 19-year-old went into self-quarantine today. She works at a Starbucks in Tucker, but called out with symptoms that are more unsettling now than ever.
It's confusing right now. It's kind of scary, but I'm getting used to it.
She hopes to get a test for COVID-19, but isn't sure yet how to do it. Many have been in self-quarantine for weeks. Jane and Larry Crane, age 70, have all but shut down their lives, staying close to their yard in Tucker.
It's pretty weird. I'm used to going to the mall and walking every day, going to AARP and doing taxes for folks, and we're doing nothing. I'm working puzzles and working in the yard. That's it.
And I even worry about coming down to open the mailbox, you know?
Self-quarantine, or at the very least, social distancing, is what experts recommend to beat the pandemic. The question that they can't answer is, for how long?
As the virus spreads, so is misinformation. Next, 2 posts spreading in Georgia that the governor says absolutely are not true.
Sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11Alive.
Some mornings, what you want isn't what you have time for. And that's why there's the Rush Blog, the biggest news of the day in 5 minutes or less. Quick and convenient for all those hectic mornings. Catch the Rush Blog on the Morning Rush.
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
Atlanta is filled with great photo spots. And of course, I would know because this is my hometown. I'm 11Alive's Francesca Amaker, and I'm about to show you my picks for the 3 best Instagram spots in Atlanta.
The Outcast mural is one of Atlanta's newest hotspots. Created by the artist Jex, people flock from all over the world just to get a shot of these two hip-hop legends. News of the mural went viral when Big Boy himself gave a shout out on Instagram. You can find it tucked away in a back parking lot in Little 5 Points. An Atlanta icon, ever-changing, always interesting. The Krog Street Tunnel is full of artwork from some pretty eclectic Atlanta artists.
Yeah, all we feel is good vibes. When you vibe with it, it's a good time. We don't worry about the hate, we just pass it to the side.
There's graffiti, community messages, concert announcements. You really never know what you're gonna get here, and that's what makes it so special. You can find it between Cabbagetown and Inman Park. If you've never checked it out, it's a must-see.
We are committed to bringing you updates on the coronavirus outbreak every 15 minutes right here on 11Alive Primetime for the next 3 hours. The latest numbers, 197 confirmed cases in Georgia across 28 counties. For context, it was 31 cases 1 week ago. We've also learned about 3 more deaths today, bringing the state total to 4 deaths from COVID-19. Stock market continued to fall today. Trading was halted for 15 minutes this afternoon after the S&P 500 fell by 7%. When it reopened, the Dow continued to fall, ending with a loss of more than 1,300 points. At this point, the blue chip index has lost all of its gains since President Trump took office in January of 2017.
More businesses are closing up shop to try and curb the outbreak. Simon Property Group says it's shutting down all of its shopping centers after tonight. That includes Lenox Square, Phipps Plaza, Mall of Georgia, Sugarloaf Mills, and the Town Center at Cobb. The properties will be closed through March 29th. The CEO of Simon says the health of shoppers and workers is of paramount importance. Now, one of the industries hurting the most in all of this is the airlines. Today, we saw more cuts from Delta. To do that, Delta is cutting capacity by 70%. That's according to our partners at the Atlanta Business Chronicle. All Delta officers will be cutting their pay in half through June 30th. Directors and managing directors will take a 25% cut, and every single member of Delta's board of directors will forego their payment for the next 6 months. More than half of Delta's planes will stay grounded. And finally, Delta is closing the majority of its Delta Sky Clubs. CEO Ed Baston had already given up 6 months of salary.
As more businesses are impacted by this, some people have asked us if supplies to grocery store chains could be impacted. Bill List talked to some of the biggest chains today and found the supplies are plentiful for now.
The major issue, according to Atlanta's 2 major supermarkets, is not the supply chain, but rather the demand for product by the consumers. Publix alone says that last week it had more than 12,000 deliveries to its Publix supermarkets, and that does not guarantee that getting to the store early is going to get you what you need. These deliveries take place on a 24-hour schedule. Take a look at the store hours. Many of the Publix markets are closing early, so the stores can be sanitized overnight. And take a careful look now at limiting how much you purchase. In order to control the supply chain and the demand, the stores are limiting the number of things you can buy in certain product categories. Kroger says its supply chain is strong, and it's determining the frequency of deliveries depending on the size of the store. They're also asking manufacturers to prioritize exactly what they produce in order to get the highest priority items into those stores as soon as possible. Kroger also is limiting hours, just like Publix, and also limiting how much people can buy of those high priority items.
Governor Kemp also warned about rampant misinformation when it comes to the virus. He's using social media to debunk a few myths that he is seeing. He wanted to make it clear that Georgia ports are not shutting down. He says the ports are open. There is nothing to worry about there. The governor also shared this text message that looks legitimate. He's telling faith leaders to join in on a conference call to talk about the stimulus package for churches. But again, it is not real. It's more important than ever to make sure the information you are taking in is accurate. If you see any posts that are suspicious like these, you can send them to our Verify team and we will research it.
We are watching those showers over on the east side right now that are still producing some thunder and lightning. We had some reports earlier of 40-mile-an-hour winds with these. Now, in Atlanta, we're fine. We had a few showers that came through a little bit earlier. Most of this has been over on the east side. You can see some of those that were in the northern parts of Fulton County, north of Monroe, heading up on toward the Oconee County area. And then these have been pretty heavy as you go to the east of Athens, toward Maxey's, and out toward Vesta and Rail in the Oglethorpe County area. And then the heaviest activity has been right around Greensboro right now in Greene County, right along I-20. This is just now to the east of that northern part of Lake Oconee, but that's where we're seeing most of the lightning. We're still detecting about 8 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes. We had some lightning with this one earlier, but that has now disappeared. All of this is going to keep moving up toward the north and east away from us. There's that area of rain I was talking about that went through Monroe, and it's just north of Monroe. That's going to move into Barrow County in a little bit. Just some rain, nothing really major with it. I don't think you'll have any lightning out of that either. And as we widen out a little more, you can see here that we're going to see some breaks in the action. You see just a few spotty showers around. We're actually, with this southerly flow, going to dry out a good bit as we go through the day tomorrow. We're not calling for any rain chances tomorrow, and that southerly flow is going to help to get us up to 80 degrees. And then we're watching this next system that is out to the west, tornado watch in parts of Texas and into the southern parts of Oklahoma. We have some severe thunderstorm warnings along with that. That system's going to have an impact us on Friday, but right now, it looks like it will not be severe by the time it makes it into Georgia. So let's take a look, a live look. This is in Athens, where we had a few of those showers that came through just a little while ago. You can see that activity here, just a couple of raindrops that were on the lens of the camera, but that's all now drying out as those showers have moved through Athens, and they are out of there now. So here's a look at the forecast track. This is one of our higher resolution models that shows here that moisture that's moving out during the nighttime hours. At 10 o'clock, still a few showers over on the east side possible. I really don't think we'll see anything here in Atlanta. We're just going to wait for that last bit of moisture that moves on off to the east, and then dry weather overnight and also in the morning, and tomorrow does look like it's going to be a rain-free day. We got up to 77 degrees for a high temperature today and 74 right now. So really nice, comfortable temperatures that we have in our area. We still have some 60s up to the north, but as that warm front moves up, it's going to warm up those temperatures to the north and east of us now too. Going with the 9 on the wazometer, highs tomorrow near 80. There's that moisture moving out tonight, and then look at this. Tomorrow, southerly flow, rain-free day, just a mixture of sunshine and clouds, and temperatures up to 80 degrees tomorrow afternoon. That's going to be the best day that we're going to see over the next few. We've got some more showers coming in late Friday. A little thunder and lightning with that, but we don't think that'll be severe. Saturday and Sunday, a 30% chance for showers. Up to 71 Saturday, 62 though Sunday, a little cooler. Monday at 64 with a 60% chance for showers, a little better rain chance there. And then 30 to 40% chance Tuesday and Wednesday with high temperatures back into the 70s.
Chris, thank you. A staff member at the University of Georgia has tested positive for COVID-19. School officials say he works in the athletics department and was last on campus March 6th. The staff member is currently being treated in a hospital. The school also says another member of the athletics department is in self-quarantine. So far, that person has not displayed any symptoms. Cancellations, postponements, seasons ended prematurely. So many of us wondering what could have been during March Madness and the College World Series, but it's the way of life right now in the sports world and for the next several weeks. And there are trickle-down effects for all of it. There are college football players who had their pro days canceled, and it would have been their time to shine in front of pro scouts. Pro days were especially important for athletes from smaller schools who aren't on TV as much and don't have a big national profile. Well, now they'll miss out on that chance.
It's the biggest interview within the next 5 to 7 years. Not that football is everything, but this is something that they lived out their whole childhood life. A lot of these guys are going to get affected by this if they don't really showcase what they have. They're always going to feel like they didn't have an opportunity to do something that they love and that they could make it.
That training facility, U48, is planning to do a virtual pro day for some of the area's top prospects so scouts can see the athletes go through drills. It'll take place as soon as the trainers believe it can be held safely.
So many people have questions about face masks and preventing COVID-19. Our Verify team takes a closer look, including when you should use them and which ones work best.
No, because this is my hometown. I'm 11Alive's Francesca Amaker, and I'm about to show you my picks for the 3 best Instagram spots in Atlanta. The Outcast mural is one of Atlanta's newest hotspots. Created by the artist Jex, people flock from all over the world just to get a shot of these two hip-hop legends. News of the mural went viral when Big Boy himself gave a shout out on Instagram. You can find it tucked away in a back parking lot in Little Five Points. An Atlanta icon, ever-changing, always interesting. The Krog Street Tunnel is full of artwork from some pretty eclectic Atlanta artists.
Yeah, all we feel is good vibe. When you vibe with it, it's a good time. We don't worry about the hate, we just pass it to the side.
There's graffiti, community messages, concert announcements. You really never know what you're gonna get here, and that's what makes it so special. You can find it between Cabbagetown and Inman Park. If you've never checked it out, it's a must-see. There are hundreds of works of art along the Beltline. I'm talking murals, sculptures, photography. This beautiful mural was created by the artist Hints. It's 100 feet long, and even though it was created in 2014, it still remains very popular to musicians and photographers alike. You can find it on the East Side Trail under Virginia Avenue. So let me know what you think. It doesn't have to be street art. Maybe your favorite spot is down the street from your home or a great view. Connect with me on Facebook and Instagram and share your favorite Instagram spots in Atlanta. And come hang out with me on Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been?
It looks like fun.
They are fun.
They're a lot of fun.
convenient. But they're being dumped everywhere.
5,000 scooters at one time active throughout the city. I enjoy them myself. They're fun. There's got to be some regulations.
I just feel like we have to evolve with the times, though. They're not going anywhere. They shouldn't go anywhere. It's a new way of transporting. We have to evolve.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush.
We get so many questions when it comes to masks and protecting yourself from coronavirus. Questions about if they work and if there was a certain kind you should buy, and you likely have heard a lot of answers over the past few weeks. So our Verified team is focusing on the facts. Here is Evan Kozlov.
The Verified team is here to break down myths and get to the truth. And with the spread of the coronavirus, our focus is on facts, not fear. A lot of people have asked about masks, when to wear them and which to buy. So let's verify. Do certain masks work better than others? Now, our sources for this one are the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the World Health Organization, and the U.S. Surgeon General. First, we should emphasize, all three of our sources say most healthy people do not need to wear masks. The WHO says they should be reserved for people taking care of patients or those showing symptoms like cough, fever, and difficulty breathing. Everyone else shouldn't buy these masks, prompting messages like this from the Surgeon General. Seriously, people, stop buying masks. So let's get into the science. There are two types of masks: surgical masks, which you've seen before, and something called N95 respirators. Surgical masks are loose-fitting, and they're pretty ineffective in stopping smaller airborne particles or viruses. Meanwhile, N95s are a tighter fit, so they filter out about 95% of airborne particles. So we can verify, not all masks are created equal, and respirators are far more effective in combating viruses than your typical surgical mask. But we should emphasize once again, our health experts all said that you should not buy masks if you're healthy.
Senator Bernie Sanders lost to Joe Biden in all three primaries last night. Ahead, we take a look at where his campaign goes from here.
Once an Olympic city, Atlanta's home to the best sports scene across the nation. Hey look, the South has something to say. You won't find more passionate fans anywhere. From the Atlanta Braves home run king, my man Hank Aaron, to the human highlight film Hawks Dominique Wilkins, some of the greatest athletes have come through Atlanta. We're talking the Falcons, the Braves, the Hawks, the MLS champs, Atlanta United. This city has something for every kind of sports fan. So what do you think? Is Atlanta the best city in America? Connect with us. Use Facebook or Instagram and tell us why this city's got it going on. And then watch us every weekday morning from 5 to 7 on the Morning Rush on 11Alive.
televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Babe, where are my keys?
Where's my lunch?
Where's my phone? Hey, where's my blue shirt?
Where's my pen? Have you seen it?
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy and Associates.
I woke up at 2 in the morning to be here. Where were you?
Once you allow it, right, then it sets you up for the entire week where you just have lost it.
Like on a Sunday, it's like, oh, let's just order some Chinese food, and of course you wind up eating tons of that. And then on Monday, you're like, well, I got leftovers, I can't let it go to waste.
Auntie wants to give you a plate to take home from the barbecue.
Auntie.
No.
Auntie, don't invite me to the barbecue.
I'm gonna be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11Alive.
The 11Alive app is your go-to source for all things Atlanta.
You hear what happened today? I'll tell you all about it.
Breaking news the moment it happens.
The boil water advisory.
Hyper-local, accurate weather alerts.
You may want to grab that sweater, maybe even a coat.
More stories to uncover. More videos to discover.
He did it his way.
Personalized for you.
And that's what makes it so special.
The 11Alive app. Available now in the App Store.
Hey, I got the ways to go. I got moves to make, homie, but I stay in the flow. See, I just do what I say I'm gonna do. No, my movement ain't faded. You could assume what you're doing was great.
Oh, and so I was saying, there is always something filming here in Atlanta. From movies to TV shows, you name it. And so the A Scene keeps up with all of it for you. Casting calls, which big celebrities are in town, what's filming, and if it's in your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this.
It's coming up on 8:30, and we are bringing you updates on the coronavirus outbreak every 15 minutes. Tonight, Georgia's Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan announced he will self-quarantine after a member of Georgia's Senate tested positive for the virus. The Lieutenant Governor says he was told to stay in quarantine for 14 days. Coronavirus at this point has touched every state in our country, with more than 6,000 cases nationwide, while states like New York and Washington are much worse off than Georgia. We are still nearing 200 cases, and right now there are 197 cases across 28 counties. The number is particularly high in Fulton County, where there are 49 cases.
The constant updates coming in about the coronavirus can be overwhelming, so 11Alive medical correspondent Dr. Sujatha Reddy is answering your coronavirus questions. Remember, you can text them to the 404 number, 873-9114. Again, we ask that you text that number and not call. So Kimberly says, I have a 2-year-old that has a cough and a runny nose with thick mucus coming out. I just checked her and her temperature is 100.4. Should I be concerned?
So for a child with a fever, I would say at that point you have to contact the child's pediatrician. As the caregiver for a child, you know, that's a hard one because obviously we're worried about children or anybody exposing older patients to the virus. But if you're feeling fine, I think at this point, I would just take all the precautions we're recommending as far as hand washing and not touching eyes and nose. But for the child, I would contact the pediatrician. Still right now, it's more likely the child has a regular cold than has COVID-19.
All right, Candace, curious, what criteria do you have to meet to be tested for the coronavirus? And also Diane Williams wanting to know, can cleaning with white vinegar also kill the coronavirus on surfaces?
That's also a great question. I actually got another question about UV light. And no, UV light is not recommended to kill the coronavirus, and neither is any kind of vinegar. What's recommended is going to be the normal disinfectants, bleach type products we use to clean our bathroom. That's what's going to kill the coronavirus.
Remember, if you have questions, you can let us know. That number right there on your screen. You can text us at 404-873-9114. Remember, again, please text Do not call and include your name as well. Dr. Reddy will be answering your questions in real time every day here on 11Alive. It's part of a special program Cheryl Preheim and Sheba Russell are bringing you each day at noon. Make sure you join us for Facts, Not Fear.
We all need to take steps to protect ourselves against the virus, but we must especially remember to help those most at risk, and that includes older people and those with existing medical conditions, and that has led to a lot of families facing some very tough choices during this virus crisis, like keeping a safe distance. Royd Hibbert with our sister station in Minnesota and Minneapolis introduces us to one mother with a heartbreaking message.
Behind every window at North Memorial Health, a story.
Yeah.
Liza Turretin crossed the street to share hers. That's Helena, Liza's daughter, singing to her husband Cole last month at the Mayo Clinic, when Liza's 5 children could still visit their dad before coronavirus brought a new threat to cancer patients and others with compromised immune systems.
It's a difficult time right now for a lot of people.
Liza made a decision to separate herself from her children, they with their parents in St. Peter, and she with Cole.
Until I know that it's safe, that I don't want to expose him to anything unnecessary.
As long as necessary.
Where you go, I go. We've always said that to each other.
Their son Oli's first birthday last April, a week before Cole learned of the tumors in his pancreas that have spread to his liver. More treatment options exist, but there's no overstating the threat to Cole should COVID-19 find him.
This was our year anniversary gift. And it says, walk by faith.
Liza has an ask, a message for younger people like her.
Maybe there's a lot of people my age that don't see the importance of following all of the guidelines. They don't have a husband at home with cancer, and I think that it's hard to be in your mid-30s and think about those things.
So, if you still need a reason to stay home, here it is. A father who would like to get back to his kids.
Yes.
And a wife who will be at his side, regardless.
It's got to get easier at some point. I hope that it gets easier.
The symptoms for the flu and COVID-19 can be similar, not to mention it's allergy season. So here's a breakdown of symptoms you need to watch out for. The symptoms of coronavirus are fever, cough, and shortness of breath or difficulty breathing. Those symptoms will appear 2 to 14 days after someone is exposed. Now, with the flu, you might also experience a fever and cough. With allergies, you might be sneezing, have an itchy nose or throat, or runny nose or red, watery eyes. These symptoms are important for people to look for if you're trying to figure out if you have COVID-19 or something else.
Still watching some of those showers over on the east side that have some thunder and lightning with them. Now, they're pretty much moving out of our area right now. Nothing going on here in Atlanta right now. We do have some showers that we're watching right here at the top of your screen over into Barrow County near Winder. That's going to move up into Jackson County. Just some moderate rain with that. We don't have any thunder and lightning with that particular shower. Where we're seeing most of the thunder and lightning is right along I-20 east of the city, just to the east of Lake Oconee. There's that northern part of Lake Oconee right here, where we still have a couple of showers around Greshamville and right there along I-20 as you go into parts of Morgan County as well. But the thunder and lightning is right up here north of White Plains near Woodville, and that's moving up toward the north and to the east. You can see more of those showers near between Vesta and Washington, Georgia. And we've had about 4 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes. Earlier, we were showing 8 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes. There's that rain as it's moving up toward the north and also over to the east, and it's pretty much moving away from Atlanta. We're not concerned about any additional showers here tonight, and it looks like tomorrow is going to be a rain-free day, and temperatures up to around 80 degrees. Stay with us. I'll let you know if this system back in Texas will eventually make it here and what kind of impacts it could have on us. That's coming up.
Senator Bernie Sanders said to be reassessing his campaign after difficult losses in 3 more presidential primaries. But Senator Sanders says anyone who thinks he is ending his campaign has it wrong. Here's NBC's Alice Barr.
Bernie Sanders facing a very big decision after 3 more withering losses, speaking from the Capitol today before a Senate vote on an emergency coronavirus bill.
Anybody who suggests that at this point we're ending our campaign is not telling the truth.
A spokesman saying today that with the next primary at least 3 weeks away, Senator Sanders will be speaking with supporters to assess his campaign. Joe Biden now ahead by a commanding 315 pledged delegates, as NBC News projects big wins in yesterday's contests in Florida, Illinois, and Arizona. Biden appealing directly to Sanders supporters.
I hear you. I know what's at stake.
Ballots were cautiously cast and carefully counted amid the coronavirus pandemic. Many voters and poll workers staying home out of concern over the virus. Ohio's governor chose to delay that state's primary against a judge's ruling. The head of the Democratic National Committee urging all states to hold mail-in voting for the next contests.
There are ways to hold elections so that we don't put people in harm's way.
The uncertainty only putting more pressure on Sanders to decide whether to leave the race or keep fighting, with Biden building a potentially insurmountable delegate lead and the country in crisis.
Throughout the election season, our Decision 2020 team is helping offer context and perspective on the big issues like health care, the economy, immigration, voter integrity. Let us know if there is a story you want us to cover. And as a reminder, Georgia's presidential primary has been pushed back to May 19th.
We know that health officials are working on a coronavirus vaccine, but many wonder why it's going to take so long to develop. Our Why Guy has the answer coming up.
May call me, but I stay in the flow. See, I just do what I say I'm gonna do. No, my movement ain't faded. You could assume it.
Oh, and so I was saying, there is always something filming here in Atlanta. From movies to TV shows, you name it. And so the A scene keeps up with all of it for you. Casting calls, which big celebrities are in town, what's filming, and if it's in your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. Ah, it's in my drafts. That's my bad.
So you slept in and you missed Morning Rush, huh? Well, here's what you missed. In my experience, good guys do finish last.
I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
Jeff.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't finish.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Televised newscast not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
You didn't get my text? The whole crew got together for coffee this morning.
I'm learning the taste of water because I'm sugary.
Yeah,
right.
About that.
Reward would be
Slimming down. Okay.
Yes,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, a little water in my cup.
And beautiful skin. You know, even more beautiful skin, you know, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not gonna be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Some mornings, what you want isn't what you have time for. And that's why there's the Rush Blog, the biggest news of the day in 5 minutes or less. Quick and convenient for all those hectic mornings. Catch the Rush Blog on the Morning Rush.
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
Atlanta is filled with great photo spots. And of course, I would know because this is my hometown. I'm 11Alive's Francesca Amaker, and I'm about to show you my picks for the 3 best Instagram spots in Atlanta. The Outcast mural is one of Atlanta's newest hotspots. Created by the artist Jex, people flock from
continue bringing you updates on the coronavirus outbreak every 15 minutes as Georgia reports 197 cases, a number that could balloon next week as more kits for current possible cases are tested. President Trump says the U.S. will temporarily be closing its border with Canada due to the coronavirus pandemic. He indicated it was a mutual decision between the two nations, and he says the closure includes all non-essential traffic, but the president did emphasize trade will not be affected. And as the coronavirus pandemic spreads, countries are taking every step that they can to slow the spread of this. But many of you are asking about a possible vaccine and why it's taking so long. Here's Jerry Carnes, our Why Guy.
With the world on edge, scientists are working to turn the COVID-19 coronavirus against itself. Work is well underway to create a vaccine that will offer protection in the future. There are indications that the research and testing could move faster than it has with other vaccines. Still, it's unlikely the general public will see a vaccine for this form of the coronavirus for a year or more. Here's why. The first step in the development of any vaccine is to study the illness itself. There's a part of each virus that will alert your body's immune system that something's wrong. Scientists locate that part of the virus, then use the information to design a vaccine that will tell your body to fight back.
That can be extremely time-consuming. People spend a lot of time to determine that piece and make sure it really works.
Before it's made available to the public, a vaccine is tested, first on animals, then a small group of people, then a larger group, and finally an even larger group.
To make sure that this particular vaccine is absolutely safe, then we're going to move on to make sure that it's, still stimulating the right response in humans.
COVID-19 is not the only form of the coronavirus. Work on vaccines for the other 6 forms that affect humans could help speed efforts to fight COVID-19.
Now, this is a different virus than the others, but the gains that we have so far are always helpful.
The first COVID-19 vaccine test on humans is underway earlier than expected.
Still keeping an eye on those showers on the east side that are moving away, and they're also showing signs of weakening. We're not seeing as much lightning with this as we did a few minutes ago. Here in Atlanta, we're fine. We had just a couple of spotty showers earlier. Most of the action was over on the east side. Here's the heaviest rain that we have right now. This is just north of I-20. Here's Greensboro. There's Lake Oconee. We have a couple of light showers on the north end of Lake Oconee, just north of I-20. This is where we've had the heaviest shower with some thunder and lightning with that between Crawfordville and Woodville, and also some showers up in Tignall earlier that had a little bit of lightning with it. Over the last 15 minutes, our lightning count showing only about 3 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes. It was 8 a little bit earlier, still not a lot, but this is just showing us the trend that lightning count is coming down and these showers are weakening a little bit. We had some good rain that came through Clark County earlier, also in Oconee County. We have this rain that's through Barrow County moving into Jackson County. It is also weakening, mainly just a few light to moderate showers, nothing particularly heavy. We are going to be drying out for tonight, and tomorrow's going to be a dry day, and then we have this next system we're watching back in Texas that has prompted a tornado watch. That part of the system is going to move toward us late on Friday, but at this point, we're not concerned about a severe weather system with that. It's going to be a lot weaker by the time it makes it here into the Atlanta area. Let's take a look at the bigger picture, and you can see where we're talking about that severe weather threat, mainly through parts of Texas up into Oklahoma. That's where we have a level 3 risk, this tan color indicating that, whereas here in Atlanta, we're fine. Now, this is for tonight, where we showed you where they have that tornado watch. And then tomorrow, the main energy with the stronger storms will move up toward the north and east into parts of Arkansas, southern Missouri, Illinois, also up in toward Indiana, and just south of the Great Lakes region. So we're not worried about severe weather here tomorrow. In fact, we're not even worried about any showers developing, moving into our area tomorrow. It looks like it's going to be a rain-free day. And then as that entire system starts to move our way, even though most of that energy for stronger storms will be up to the west, we're going to have just some general showers here, maybe some thunder and lightning late on Friday, but we don't expect to see any severe weather with that. So that's some good news for us here. 72 degrees is our temperature in this hour. We're down to 69 at 10. Really a mild evening out there and a mild night. We start off in the morning with temperatures in the low 60s, and then we warm up to 80 degrees in the afternoon. On our scale from 1 to 11, where an 11 is a perfect day, we're going to go with the 9. Rain-free day, 80 degrees. That's going to be pretty nice, although that's still well above the average. There goes that moisture moving out tonight, and then tomorrow we're going to start off with a mix of sun and clouds. Lunchtime, still a mix of sun and clouds. In the afternoon, I think that's when we're going to see more sunshine, and look at that southerly flow. That helps to warm us up into the 80s, and then late Friday, that's when we'll watch that activity out to the west that moves our way. That'll give us a better chance for showers. Maybe some rumbles of thunder and flashes of lightning with highs near 77 Friday. 71 Saturday, 30% chance for a shower. Still a 30% chance on Sunday with temperatures down a little bit to 62. And then Monday, a pretty good rain chance at 60%, then 30 to 40% chances for rain Tuesday and Wednesday with highs back to the 70s.
Right now, an Atlanta mother is going viral for giving her children a unique homeschooling experience. She invented a school of her own. It's called the Corona Academy. And 11Alive photojournalist Charles Holmes has her story tonight.
It's just school. I knew I had to do this with them. I knew we'd be stuck in the house, so I tried to make it fun for them. Okay, Zach, let's go to plus. 3 boys. 13. You need help with that? 7. Read that. And 2. This is just for now. We'll continue to do homework till this corona thing ends. Which, all of these? We had to have a half day yesterday. The little one was fighting. They go to Centennial Academy and they have Cyber Academy. And so the teachers send work to us, and then, you know, they have to complete it.
It reminds me exactly of school, because we always have a schedule at school, and now we always have a schedule at home, so it's basically like school.
10, we do prayer, then 10, we do 10:05, we do the schoolwork, and we exercise. I don't really have any advice. I'm just trying to make it fun for all of us, trying to survive this thing.
The TV shows, you name it. And so the A scene keeps up with all of it for you. Casting calls, which big celebrities are in town, what's filming, and if it's in your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you?
All right.
Ah, it's in my drafts. That's my bad.
So you slept in and you missed morning rush, huh? Well, here's what you missed.
In my experience, good guys do finish last.
Stop. I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
Jess.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't finish last.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
You didn't get my text? The whole crew got together for coffee this morning.
I'm learning the taste of water, because I'm sugary.
Yeah,
right.
about that.
Reward would be
Slimming down. Okay.
Yes,
yeah,
okay.
a little water in my
yes.
cup.
And beautiful skin. You know, even more beautiful skin, you know, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not gonna be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Some mornings, what you want isn't what you have time for. And that's why there's the Rush Blog, the biggest news of the day in 5 minutes or less. Quick and convenient for all those hectic mornings. Catch the Rush Blog on the Morning Rush.
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
Atlanta is filled with great photo spots. And of course, I would know because this is my hometown. I'm 11Alive's Francesca Amaker, and I'm about to show you my picks for the 3 best Instagram spots in Atlanta. The Outcast mural is one of Atlanta's newest hotspots. Created by the artist Jex, people flock from all over the world just to get a shot of these two hip-hop legends. News of the mural went viral when Big Boy himself gave a shout-out on Instagram. You can find it tucked away in a back parking lot.
Productions at Tyler Perry Studios have stopped, much like many other TV and movie productions all across America. Mr. Perry's team said today that he chose to put his own productions on hold for the moment. Other productions that lease space at his studio have also opted to stop filming.
All right, folks, you know what time it is. You see your screen. It is time for Wednesday's edition of The A Scene, and we are kicking off with a casting call for a new production that's about to make Atlanta its home. It's coming to us from Kevin Hart and the Woody Harrelson. So it's an action-packed comedy called The Man from Toronto, and though Sony has put the production on hold due to the coronavirus, they're still hoping to premiere in the box office this November. So Woody Harrelson will work alongside Kevin Hart in this one. One will play the world's deadliest assassin, and the other, New York's biggest screw-up. Then one is mistaken for the other at an Airbnb rental, and they'll have to team up to save the day. Now, Sony has, of course, halted production so far, but casting directors are getting talent in order. If you want a bigger role, consult with your talent agent. Casting director Mary Vernew urges your rep to reach out directly. And if you'd like to be an extra, Roselot Casting is currently looking for Hispanic, Latin, Puerto Rican, Nicaraguan, Panamanian, or Peruvian types right now. The pay is $80 for 8 hours of work, and the casting call is on our A Scene members only Facebook group. And Real Housewives of Atlanta fans will have to wait a little longer for that highly anticipated season 12 reunion. Andy Cohen taking to his Twitter, tweeting this when a fan asked about the show. He announced it is officially postponed due to the coronavirus outbreak. But no worries, when it's back on, it'll be good. I'm talking Snake Gate to the Cookie Lady to Nene Leakes and Kenya Moore's seemingly never-ending drama. Stay tuned to Bravo for all the announcements. Whew.
And so what we've decided to do is partner up with our local food bank in Seattle, Seattle Food Lifeline, and we're going to donate 1 million meals to hopefully make a difference.
And we want to encourage everyone out there to join us in whatever way that you can, big or small.
Look at that, Sierra, Atlanta's very own, and her husband, Russell Wilson, inviting everyone to keep the faith and help out where you can during this coronavirus outbreak. The couple is donating 1 million meals to their local food bank. They're reminding everyone to continue practicing social distancing, and they say together we will conquer this pandemic. And if you want more of The A Scene, head on over to 11alive.com/The A Scene.
Still to come on Primetime, it's being offered as a solution to increased testing in Georgia, but drive-through testing doesn't mean automatically instant results. Our reveal investigators digging into why it's taking so long to find out if people are infected or not.
Remember the old days, the old cliffhangers when we used to watch shows and they
cliffhangers.
would, they would wait the next week. You're, what's going to happen to the $6 million man? He was hanging with his one bionic arm.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. only on 11Alive.
Atlanta. Almost 6 million people call the Metro home. But what makes this place so great? I'm 11Alive's Chesley McNeil. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why Atlanta is the best city in America. Come on, man. It's the heart of the South. And it's one of the most diverse cities around. People from all walks of life have come here and made it home. From different backgrounds, languages, and religions. And who can forget about the food? They all make this a cultural melting pot, full of great people and Southern hospitality. Atlanta's rich history is unmatched, known as the cradle of the civil rights movement for good reason. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Andrew Young, John Lewis, they all fought in the struggle for equal rights right here. Businesses on Sweet Auburn Avenue, local black churches, and college students from Atlanta all helped shape the future of America. Once an Olympic city, Atlanta's home to the best sports scene across the nation. Hey look, the South has something to say. You won't find more passionate fans anywhere. From the Atlanta Braves home run king, my man Hank Aaron, to the human highlight film Hawks Dominique Wilkins, some of the greatest athletes have come through Atlanta. We're talking the Falcons, the Braves, the Hawks, the MLS champs, Atlanta United. This city has something for every kind of sports fan. So what do you think? Is Atlanta the best city in America? Connect with us. Use Facebook or Instagram and tell us why this city's got it going on. And then watch us every weekday morning from 5 to 7 on the Morning Rush on 11Alive.
Tell televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Babe, where are my keys?
Mom, where's my lunch?
Where's my phone? Hey, where's my blue shirt?
Where's my pen? Have you seen it?
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
I woke up at 2 in the morning to be here. Where were you?
Once you allow it, right, then it sets you up for the entire week where you just have lost it.
Like on a Sunday, it's like, oh, let's just order some Chinese food, and of course you wind up eating tons of that.
Communities in Metro Atlanta are finding creative ways to stay connected while keeping their distance. We start with an art studio coloring for a cause to bring some love to seniors who can't have visitors. Sips and Strokes is asking families to download their free coloring sheets and write messages for senior center residents. The scanned pictures will then be distributed to nursing homes across the state. The store's owner says it's a great way to spread cheer. Cheryl Preheim gives us a look at how other communities are keeping spirits up.
A front yard concert for all to enjoy from a distance in West Midtown. A neighborhood band decided to play a free show at sunset. In Marietta, families each decorated their cars, drove around the neighborhood to have a responsible and safe St. Patrick's Day parade.
Hey everybody.
Cartersville City and Bartow County school systems went virtual with its tradition of meeting a leprechaun.
We're going to be able to let everybody see the leprechaun from their own home.
And more people joining in with a call to get the Christmas lights back up to bring a little spirit and joy to the community. Making good memories, being more connected in uncertain times.
And there's a lot of information to keep up with, so we've put our COVID-19 coverage in one place for you. Look for the coronavirus section in the 11Alive app.
11Alive News Primetime on the ATL starts now.
All right, folks, we're going to begin with breaking news as Emory Healthcare reports its first death related to the coronavirus, the fourth in our state. And we've also learned the ages of the two women who died from the COVID-19 in Albany. They were 42 and 69 years old and each had existing medical conditions. Here are the latest numbers for you. 197 confirmed cases right here in Georgia across 28 counties. For context here, it was 31 cases 1 week ago. And we're learning tonight that Georgia's Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan will self-quarantine after a member of Georgia's state Senate tested positive for the virus. Duncan says he was told to stay in quarantine for at least 14 days. Worldwide, there are now more than 200,000 confirmed cases and almost 9,000 deaths. But more than 83,000 people have also recovered, and we know one of the biggest concerns that you have that you're sharing with us all the time is the number of cases reported in your county tonight. 11Alive's Joe Hinkie has been doing that research for you and breaks down the numbers.
Georgia Department of Public Health numbers show in total there have been 7 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Dougherty County. And here are the updated totals for the counties with the majority of Georgia's cases. Fulton County is up to 49 with 16 new cases since Tuesday. Statewide, there are 197 cases in 28 counties, a significant jump from 1 week ago today when the state reported only 31 cases.
A lot of the people that are reaching out are elderly and they're just scared. And I think that whatever we can do to allay those fears has to be done.
Marietta City Councilwoman Cheryl Richardson says she is hearing from many of her constituents after she announced that she tested positive for COVID-19. She's one of 28 cases in Cobb County. She says her symptoms are like the flu magnified. Richardson's doctor helped her get tested, but she says many people are telling her they have symptoms but can't get tested themselves.
I have gotten phone calls, text messages, email from people who are scared and they think they have it and they can't get tested because maybe the doctor doesn't think they have it.
As a Marietta councilwoman, Richardson confirmed this former Radisson Hotel on Parkway Plaza in Marietta is being turned into a federally run quarantine. that she understands will be used to house people not sick enough to be kept in a hospital, but symptomatic enough that they need to be separated from their family or neighbors. And Richardson tells me a long list of friends and family members have been checking on her, making sure she has supplies, picking up and dropping off her prescriptions. She adds not everyone is as lucky. She's asking people to check on especially their elderly neighbors and make sure that they are also taken care of.
So this is what we have learned, that Fulton County is now leading the way in the state with 49 confirmed cases. Today, the Board of Commissioners declared a local state of emergency. 11Alive's Chanu Her is now breaking down the sudden increases in those cases.
The Fulton County Board of Commissioners declared a state of emergency Wednesday until further notice.
And the significance of that is that we are now able, if needed, to receive federal and state funds should they become available.
Board Chairman Rob Pitts says they're following Governor Brian Kemp's lead, but are also allowed to make decisions at the local level to move forward aggressively. And that's what they're doing, because the number of positive cases of COVID-19 in Fulton County aren't slowing down. Fulton County, with a population of about 1 million people, has the most cases, 49. That's followed by Cobb County with 28, Bartow County with 19, and DeKalb County with 18. In just a little more than 2 weeks, Fulton County's cases shot up. On March 2nd, there were 2 cases. 10 days later, it climbed to 7. On March 14th, 4 more positive cases, bringing it to a total of 11. Then on Monday, 27 cases. And today, it climbed dramatically to 49 cases. Leaders don't know when it'll all slow down, but they say they're doing their best to keep residents of Fulton County safe.
Fulton County is prepared, and we're getting more prepared each and every day.
So to put this into perspective, it is really important to consider a county's population when you look at the spike in cases in all those different areas. And there is one county and one COVID-19 cluster that really stands out. Fulton, Cobb, and DeKalb all have some of the biggest populations of the entire state and are among the counties with double-digit cases. Fulton County has more than 1 million people, but Bartow County has 19 cases and its population is just over 100,000. And we've seen a cluster of cases there tied back to a number of churches being exposed to someone who tested positive for COVID-19. Well, Caitlin Ross spoke with one church member who got sick after attending a party with some other members. And tonight he's home from the hospital and sharing his story of recovery.
I'll be quarantined to my bedroom for the next 2 weeks. But, you know, there's no place like home.
Clay Bentley still has trouble drawing a big breath, but says he's improved dramatically since he was first diagnosed with COVID-19 2 weeks ago. He was exposed during a service at the church at Liberty Square in Bartow County, singing in the choir.
They don't have a cure or give me fluids and breathing treatments.
He was in the hospital for 12 days and says other people from that same service were in even worse shape.
Through the grapevine, people talking, realizing that I was not the only one who had it. There's were members who have been in critical condition.
April and Kyle Abernathy got sick after the same service. Kyle was released from the hospital Monday, but April is still in the ICU, though doctors say she is improving. Clay says they're relying on their faith to get through it.
Don't walk in fear. Don't be afraid. Just know that God has given us the power to overcome.
Now that he's finally home, he wants the country to come together and unite against the virus.
We just have to stand up. We have to put on our armor. We have to fight for what's rightfully ours. We have to fight for our families. We have to fight for our jobs. We have to fight for our country. What we have here, we work for it.
I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11Alive Storm Trackers. You see my phone here on your screen. I am on live right now with around 400 people on Facebook Live, where we are talking about some of the rain that moved through the area. Most of us are dry right now, but we're still tracking some of these showers that are over on the east side. If you want to talk a little more about the weather when I get finished here, just go to my Facebook page, Chris Holcomb 11Alive, and you can join in on that conversation. We'll be answering some questions on there coming up as well. But nothing going on here in town right now. We had a couple of spotty showers that came through a little bit earlier. Most of the activity now is well over to the east. This is out I-20. Lake Oconee is right over here. So most of the heaviest activity and rain is to the east of Lake Oconee. This is between Crawfordville and Washington, Georgia. That's over to the east of Greene County, just north of I-20. More of this rain over near Tignall. That is really started a little bit more lightning here. An updated lightning strike shows about 5 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes between these two storms. These are all moving away, though. You can see how that's moving over toward the east and a little bit to the north. Nothing else is moving our way here in Atlanta. In fact, tomorrow looks like it is going to be a dry day. Temperatures around 80. And then we'll watch this next system that's causing severe weather in Texas. That'll move in on Friday, but we think it's going to be a lot weaker by the time it gets in here. Take a look out there right now. You can see what we're watching with the temperatures around North Georgia. Pretty mild here, 71 degrees. Our high today was actually 78. We have more 60s, though, up to the north and east. That warmer air is going to keep moving in here tonight, tomorrow, and that'll get us into the low 80s tomorrow. Stay with us. After a dry day tomorrow, we'll see the rain chances coming back. We'll talk about that and let you know if that's going to extend into our weekend.
And there was backlog. There were individuals who had been tested, who hadn't had their specimen run because of the slow throughput. It's now in a high-speed platform. So we will see the number of people diagnosed dramatically increase over the next 4 to 5 days.
So that was the president's coronavirus task force response coordinator addressing the backlog of COVID-19 tests. She was answering questions, specifically citing Atlanta's director of public health, who reported there are fewer than 50 test kits for more than 500,000 citizens. And officials say the availability of those tests, it's improving. Drive-through testing for COVID-19 virus popping up all over the country, with sites now operating in Cobb and Douglas counties. But instant test does not mean instant results. Those official numbers are lagging days behind the actual count of people infected because the results are taking so long. Brendan Keefe investigates.
Journalist Nicole Vapp never wanted to become the story.
Just gave all my information and they gave us a testing kit.
She leads the investigative team at 9 News in Denver. But now she's being investigated for COVID-19 because of symptoms and contact with someone who already tested positive.
Okay, one more to go. We got this.
The drive-through tests keep potentially infected patients out of hospitals, away from vulnerable healthcare providers and each other.
Okay.
But these instant tests don't come with instant results.
It said it would be 72 hours. Even though my doctor told me it'd be 24, they said it would be 72. And I still haven't had results.
The vast majority of tests currently conducted in the United States are genetic. The patient is swabbed and then that sample is sent to the lab, which copies the DNA to match it against the genetic fingerprint of the coronavirus. It's a 4-hour test that typically takes days between the moment the sample is collected and when the results are sent to the doctor. The genetic test shows only if the virus was in your body at the time the sample was taken.
We're just sitting here waiting.
Nicole got no answer for 5 days. Then, right after this interview, she got the news. She was negative.
If someone's getting a test result back 5 days later, it just tells them they were negative 5 days ago. It doesn't tell them they're negative now.
Exactly. It's kind of a useless test at that point.
Some countries are using a test that involves a blood draw. The blood is sent to a lab which doesn't detect the virus itself, but looks for the antibodies we produce to fight the virus. That test takes the lab a few hours before the results are sent to the doctor. The antibody test shows if the patient has ever had the virus, including people who have recovered and would otherwise show up negative on the genetic test.
There's so many people that could have this that are running around.
Researchers around the globe are racing to develop an instant test that could be used in a doctor's office or emergency room with immediate positive or negative results. For now, here in the U.S., the people who can actually get in line to wait for a test then have to wait days longer to hear the verdict.
That was Brendan Keefe reporting. You know, a positive test does not affect the treatment of the individual, but the total numbers do help track the spread of the virus and allow public health officials to send resources to those hotspots. More examples today of the way COVID-19 is impacting our local economy. In about 30 minutes, a handful of metro malls are going to be shutting their doors. All Simon properties, including Lenox Square, Phipps Plaza, Mall of Georgia, and Town Center at Cobb, will remain closed until March 29th. Delta Airlines is now parking 600 planes, almost half of its fleet, and all executives will take pay cuts up to 50%, while the entire board of directors will give up their salary for the next 6 months. Tyler Perry is putting all television and film projects at his Atlanta studios on hold, saying this too shall pass. Well, the Trump administration says that it is working on a bipartisan plan to help working Americans. It involves sending money directly to the citizens. It would be an effort costing hundreds of billions of dollars. Jennifer Bellamy has a look at what we're hearing so far.
Well, the Senate is set to look at this financial aid package that proposes $500 billion in checks be sent straight to millions of Americans. It's all part of a $1 trillion stimulus package. So here's what we know. Right now, the plan calls for 2 rounds of checks to be sent out. The first one's as soon as April 6th. The second payment would come May 18th. According to this proposal, the checks would be tiered, with amounts varying based on factors like income level and the size of your family. But the 2 checks would be for the same amount. President Trump says everyone really wants to go big.
We have to help everybody. It was nobody's fault. This happened. It's moving along fast. Again, there's a great bipartisan effort going on that I haven't really seen before to this extent.
The administration's package also calls for a $300 billion small business interruption loan program. Again, this is all still being floated in Congress right now. President Trump also announced today that the Housing and Urban Development Department will suspend foreclosures and evictions through April.
All right, thanks a lot, Jay Bell. You know, as the coronavirus continues to spread, so is misinformation. Next, 2 social media posts spreading in Georgia the governor says are absolutely not true. Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb is live on Facebook as we speak, taking all of your weather questions. You can join the conversation right now on his Facebook page. We're going to catch up with him after the break.
It looks like fun.
They are fun, and they're convenient, but they're being dumped everywhere.
5,000 scooters at one time active throughout the city. I enjoy them myself. They're fun. There's got to be some regulations.
I just feel like we have to evolve with the times, though. They're not going anywhere. They shouldn't go anywhere. It's a new way of transporting. We have to evolve.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m.
You see them all day, every day. Headlines, stats, and numbers, but without context, they're just clickbait. So let's add some perspective. The 3 most interesting numbers of the day, what they mean, and why they're important. News and numbers on Up Late.
What's the best part about
Your voice, it is never too loud or too much. Your voice has the power to tell it like it is.
Bringing us together to act.
Together, our voices grow. Together, we come alive, amplifying voices and breaking down barriers to change the story and shape the future. Together, we are unstoppable. Together, we are where Atlanta speaks.
Remember the old days, the old cliffhangers when we used to watch shows?
Hate cliffhangers.
They would wait the next week. You were, what's going to happen to the $6 million man? He was hanging with his one bionic arm.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11Alive.
Atlanta.
Well, as you know, there's a lot of information. A lot of information about coronavirus changing every single day, if not every single minute. And here on 11Alive News Primetime, we are bringing you updates every 15 minutes, focusing on facts, not fear, as we sort through all of this together. So, some major developments today. The Senate passed a second COVID-19 response bill, a $1 trillion plan. They'll likely pass a third bill very soon. The New York Stock Exchange has closed its trading floor temporarily, moving to all electronic trading. And the White House Coronavirus Task Force is urging all Americans to skip elective medical procedures for the next couple of weeks, including trips to the dentist. So we get a lot of emails wondering about the number of coronavirus cases in our hospitals, especially here in Georgia. And we can confirm they are treating people at some of the biggest hospitals in our area, like Piedmont, Emory, and the VA hospital. And in some cases, healthcare workers have gotten sick too. So as the outbreak spreads, it's putting a strain on our hospitals. That's why it's so important that we do our part to flatten the curve in this outbreak. 11Alive's Elwin Lopez explains how.
Consider this line the upper limit of our country's medical capability. Most days, we are well below it. The system works well. People who are sick receive care. Enter COVID-19. Right now, Georgia's numbers are fairly low compared to other parts of the world. But we know every person who gets the virus is likely to infect at least 2 other people. And that's why the numbers will continue to grow exponentially. Take Italy. In mid-February, the country had 3 cases and no deaths. The next week, more than 300 cases, 11 deaths. The next week, more than 2,500 cases and 80 deaths. The next week, more than 10,000 cases and 631 deaths. It's all pushed the country's healthcare system to its brink. This is what the U.S. is now trying to avoid by attempting to slow the spread over time. Infectious disease experts call this flattening the curve. And the more people who join, the flatter it gets. Sports fans who can't attend games, college students who won't attend class in person, canceled parades, conferences, concerts, people who wash their hands consistently, the sick who stay home. The more of us who sacrifice the norms of our daily lives, the more this works.
So as part of our continuing commitment to bring you facts, not fear, here's a reminder of the most common coronavirus symptoms here. You want to look out for fever, a dry cough, shortness of breath. Symptoms may show up as soon as 2 days or as long as 14 days after you have been exposed to the virus. So it's really important to know the differences between coronavirus and the flu or allergies, both of which are common this time of year. So if you have muscle aches, chills, congestion, and a sore throat, it's more than likely the flu. Sneezing, runny nose, red and itchy eyes is probably allergies, and doctors urge, please do not go to an ER unless you are critically sick. Call your doctor first. And we've also posted this on our 11Alive app. So we know you have a lot of questions, and we're dedicated to bring you all the answers that you need. Each day at noon, our 11Alive medical expert, Dr. Sujatha Reddy, is answering your questions live on the air. So join us for Facts, Not Fear, every day at noon on 11Alive.
I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11Alive Storm Trackers. My phone's still here on the screen where I'm talking to around 200 people now, still about the weather. A lot of questions about what's going on with pollen count out there today, which today was in the moderate range at only 87. It surprised me that it was only 87. I'm feeling it in my nose and in my throat, the pollen, that is. And we've been tracking some rain that's been moving through, and a lot of folks have been asking about these showers over to the east and if we're finished with this for the nighttime hours. And we're good in Atlanta. No rain here. We don't expect any rain not only tonight, but it looks like tomorrow is going to be a rain-free day as well. And then here you can see some of that lightning that we have right now. I've got to fix this thing on my phone really quick. Lightning that is between Washington and Crawfordville with some heavier showers that are there. And also a little bit of this lightning that's getting closer to the Georgia and South Carolina line north of the Lincolnton area. But all of that is moving away. Again, we've been measuring this. We have about 5 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes, but you can see how that's pushing over into South Carolina and over into East Georgia, where we are drying out here, and that sets the stage for a dry day tomorrow. And then on Friday, we'll be keeping an eye on what's left of this system back in Texas, and that will eventually bring us some more showers as we head into Friday. All right, let's take a look at the bigger picture. Let me show you what we're watching out there at this hour. Here's that severe weather risk, and you guys see that over in Texas. That tan color is where we have the enhanced risk or level 3 risk of showers and storms that'll be moving through that could turn severe back into Texas. And then notice where this area, the energy with this moves up toward the north and east during the day on Thursday. It's not making a beeline toward us here in Atlanta. We're thinking it's going to stay up to the north, and that's where they have that enhanced risk through parts of Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, and also into Indiana. So looking like a great day here on Thursday, dry weather tomorrow, and then that energy continues to move away, but we'll have what's kind of left over from that on Friday. That'll bring us some showers late in the day, maybe rumbles of thunder and flashes of lightning, but we don't think it's going to be severe here for Friday. Temperatures tonight are going to remain mild. We're in the 60s now, holding in the 60s overnight. Even in the morning, starting off with temperatures right around 59 or 60. I'm actually saying 60 degrees here in Atlanta for a low, and then highs tomorrow near 80. Today we hit 78. So a couple of degrees warmer tomorrow. I know when you hear 80, it sounds like it's going to be a big heat wave, but just a couple of degrees warmer than today. Going with a 9 on the wasometer, that's our scale from 1 to 11, where an 11 is a perfect day. And a mixture of sunshine and clouds, but we don't think we'll see any rain tomorrow. It looks like a rain-free day. That moisture from tonight moves out in the morning. A few clouds around, maybe some patchy fog in some areas. At lunchtime, a mix of sun and clouds. In the afternoon, more sunshine, but look at this southerly flow. That's what's going to help to warm us up into the 80s, lower 80s during the day. Friday starts off dry, and then here comes the next system. What is left from that system out to the west starts to move our way late afternoon. This is at 4:30, so that's coming into northwest Georgia Friday late afternoon. Then into northern metro counties later on Friday night. And again, pockets of moderate to heavy rain, a little thunder and lightning, but we don't expect anything severe out of the system as it moves our way. So here's a look at that 7-day outlook. 80 degrees for a high on Thursday. We will remain dry. And then on Friday, we see those showers that'll be coming in later in the day with high temperatures that get up to about 77 degrees. And then Saturday and Sunday, a 30% chance for showers both days. 71 Saturday, cooler on Sunday down to 62, 64 Monday with a better rain chance at about 60%, and then just a 30 to 40% chance for showers Tuesday and Wednesday as temperatures move back up into the low and even some mid-70s.
Thanks a lot, Chris. Governor Brian Kemp is now warning about rampant misinformation when it comes to the coronavirus, and he's using social media to debunk a few myths that he is seeing. So here's one of them. He wanted to make it clear that Georgia ports are not shutting down. He says the ports are open and there is nothing to worry about there. And here's another one here. The governor also shared this message, this text message, which looks pretty legit, right? It's telling faith leaders to join in on a conference call to talk about a stimulus package for their churches. But once again, it is fake. It is not real. You know, it's more important than ever to make sure the information that you're taking in, especially on social media, is accurate. If you see suspicious posts like the ones I just showed you, you can send them to our verified team and we will research it. A viral graph is comparing the United States coronavirus cases to those in Italy, claiming we are on the same path. We're checking to see if it's true next.
7 a.m.
You see them all day, every day. Headlines, stats, and numbers, but without context, they're just clickbait. So let's add some perspective. The 3 most interesting numbers of the day, what they mean, and why they're important. News and numbers on Up Late.
What's the best part about
Your voice, it is never too loud or too much. Your voice has the power to tell it like it is.
Bringing us together to act.
Together our voices grow. Together we come alive. Amplifying voices and breaking down barriers to change the story and shape the future. Together we are unstoppable. Together we are where Atlanta speaks.
Remember the old days, the old cliffhangers when we used to watch shows?
Hate
And they
cliffhangers.
would, you know, they would wait the next week. You were, oh, what's going to happen to the $6 million man? He was hanging with his one bionic arm.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11Alive.
Atlanta. Almost 6 million people call the Metro home. But what makes this place so great? I'm 11Alive's Chesley McNeil. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why Atlanta is the best city in America. Come on, man. It's the heart of the South. And it's one of the most diverse cities around. People from all walks of life have come here and made it home. From different backgrounds, languages, and religions. And who can forget about the food? They all make this a cultural melting pot, full of great people and Southern hospitality. Atlanta's rich history is unmatched, known as the cradle of the civil rights movement for good reason. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Andrew Young, John Lewis, they all fought in the struggle for equal rights right here. Businesses on Sweet Auburn Avenue, local black churches, and college students from Atlanta all helped shape the future of America. Once an Olympic city, Atlanta's home to the best sports scene across the nation. Hey look, the South has something to say. You won't find more passionate fans anywhere. From the Atlanta Braves home run king, my man, Hank Aaron, to the human highlight film, Hawks' Dominique Wilkins, some of the greatest athletes have come through Atlanta. We're talking the Falcons, the Braves, the Hawks, the MLS champs, Atlanta United. This city has something for every kind of sports fan. So what do you think? Is Atlanta the best city in America? Connect with us. Use Facebook or Instagram and tell us why this city's got it going on. And then watch us every weekday morning from 5 to 7 on the Morning Rush on 11Alive.
A viral graphic comparing the United States coronavirus cases to those in Italy seem to show we're on the same exact path. So we had our verified team look into whether this was true, if this was accurate, and what all this could mean. Here's Jason Puckett.
This graph keeps popping up and it keeps getting updated. It shows coronavirus cases in Italy compared to the United States, and it seems to show that we're on the same track. Now that looks bad. Italy announced a nationwide quarantine last week, and Italy currently has the second most cases of coronavirus after China. So are we going down that same path? Well, not exactly. The Surgeon General said Monday that we're about 2 weeks behind Italy right now. And this chart changes a lot when you add context, like the populations of Italy and the US, for instance. Italy has about 62 million to our 329 million. We have about 5 times more people. And look at the size. Italy is about the same size as Arizona. So imagine cramming a fifth our total population into just Arizona, and you'll start to see why this chart isn't a fair comparison. The same numbers on this chart actually mean different things for our countries. Take the last number, for instance, about 28,000 cases in Italy on Monday. That's about 0.05% of Italy's population. The same number would be 0.008% of the US population. That's 1 in 2,500 Italians versus 1 in 12,000 Americans. So we can verify. The numbers in this chart are accurate, but it doesn't provide contexts like population and size. And that makes it seem like the US is heading down the same path as Italy. Adjusted numbers look much less frightening. If you see more claims out there like this, send us an email.
Straight ahead, Bernie Sanders lost to Joe Biden in all 3 primaries last night. We're going to look at where his campaign goes from here.
Yeah, just do what I say. No, moving ain't fading. You could assume it.
Oh, and so I was saying, there is always something filming here in Atlanta. From movies to TV shows, you name it. And so the A scene keeps up with all of it for you. Casting calls, which big celebrities are in town, what's filming, and if it's in your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. Ah, it's in my drafts. That's my bad.
So you slept in and you missed Morning Rush, huh? Well, here's what you missed. In my experience, good guys do finish last.
I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't finish last.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
You didn't get my text? The whole crew got together for coffee this morning. I'm learning the taste of water, because I'm sugary. Right.
about that?
Well, reward would be
Slimming down. Okay,
Yes,
yeah,
okay.
a little water in my
yes.
cup.
And beautiful skin. You know, even more beautiful skin, you know, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not going to be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Some mornings, what you want isn't what you have time for. And that's why there's the Rush Blog, the biggest news of the day in 5 minutes or less. Quick and convenient for all those hectic mornings. Catch the Rush Blog on the Morning Rush.
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
Atlanta is filled with great photo spots. And of course, I would know because this is my hometown. I'm 11Alive's Francesca Amaker, and I'm about to show you my picks for the 3 best Instagram spots in Atlanta. The Outcast mural is one of Atlanta's newest hotspots. Created by the artist Jex, people flock from all over the world just to get
All right, folks, as you know, we're going to bring you updates on the coronavirus outbreak every 15 minutes, and we have a developing story from the Gold Dome. Georgia State Senator Brandon Beach says that he has tested positive for the coronavirus. Now, Beach is a Republican representing Alpharetta. Beach said in a statement that he had a fever and a cough last week and was tested Saturday, then received the positive results today. Beach was at the Capitol for Monday's special session. Georgia Lieutenant Governor and State Senator Renee Unterman have both announced that they will self-quarantine. Unterman is currently running for Georgia's 7th congressional district, so we'll stay on top of that story for you. By the way, coronavirus at this point has touched every single state in our country with more than 6,000 cases nationwide. While states like New York and Washington are much more worse off than Georgia, we are still getting close to 200 cases. Right now, there are 197 cases across 28 counties. The number is particularly high in Fulton County, where there are 49 cases. Where the constant updates coming in about the coronavirus can be overwhelming, just like trying to drink out of a fire hose, right? So 11Alive medical correspondent Dr. Reddy is answering your coronavirus questions. And remember, you can text them to the number on your screen at the bottom of your screen, 404-873-9114. So Kimberly says, I have a 2-year-old that has a cough and runny nose, thick mucus coming out. I just checked her temperature and it's more than 100 degrees. Should I be concerned?
So for a child with a fever, I would say at that point, you have to contact the child's pediatrician. As the caregiver for a child, that's a hard one because obviously we're worried about, children or anybody exposing older patients to the virus. But if you're feeling fine, I think at this point, I would just take all the precautions we're recommending as far as hand washing and not touching eyes and nose. But for the child, I would contact the pediatrician. Still right now, it's more likely the child has a regular cold than has COVID-19.
All right, so we have another one here. Candace is curious, what criteria do you have to meet to be tested for the coronavirus?
I just looked at the website for Georgia Public Health and for CDC. Still right now, what's being recommended is if you have symptoms, as far as the fever, a cough, then they're recommending contacting your healthcare provider. They will ask you some questions, but the healthcare provider still is going to determine who qualifies for a COVID-19 test. We just don't have, millions and millions of tests to test everyone that's worried about it. So still, if you're having symptoms, it's recommended to contact your doctor.
All right, so here's another question. Diane Williams wants to know, can cleaning with white vinegar also kill the coronavirus on surfaces?
That's also a great question. I actually got another question about UV light. And no, UV light is not recommended to kill the coronavirus, and neither is any kind of vinegar. What's recommended is going to be the normal disinfectants, bleach-type products we use to clean our bathroom. That's what's going to kill the coronavirus.
So remember, if you have any questions out there, let us know. You can text us at the number on your screen, 404-873-9114. And remember, text, don't call, and please include your name. Dr. Reddy, she's going to be answering questions in real time every day right here on 11Alive. This is all part of a special program with Cheryl Preheim and Sheba Russell. They're going to bring you each and every day at noon, so make sure you join us for Facts, Not Fear.
We are dry in Atlanta right now. We had a few showers that came through earlier, mainly over on the east side, and that's where most of the action is right now. You can see now pretty much to the east of Lake Oconee, some of these showers near Hancock County, north of Sparta, and then north of I-20 near Washington, Georgia, and near McCormick. This is right along the Georgia-South Carolina line. In fact, McCormick is on the South Carolina side. We have some thunder and lightning with these, and that's moving over into South Carolina, not moving toward us or anything. Here's that heavier one that's near Washington. You can see a pretty good bit of lightning in association with that. We've had about 14 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes. Earlier, our highest lightning count that we had was around 8, then it dropped down to 3 and 2, but now back up to 14 here with both of those storms producing some lightning. But that's all moving away from us. We are dry in our area right now. Tomorrow's going to be a dry day, but then we watch this system out to the west, causing severe weather near Dallas, where they have a tornado watch in effect and then numerous severe thunderstorm warnings. What's left of this system will move in by Friday. Stay with us. We'll talk about whether or not that can still hold together with any severe weather chances by the time it makes it here.
All right, Chris, thank you. And you know, we all need to take steps to protect ourselves against the coronavirus, but we must especially remember to help those who are at most risk. And that includes the elderly and those with existing medical conditions. That has led to a lot of families faced with tough choices during this coronavirus crisis, like keeping a safe distance. Boyd Hupert, with our sister station out of Minnesota, introduces us to one mom with a heartbreaking message.
Behind every window at North Memorial Health, a story.
Yeah.
Liza Turretin crossed the street to share hers. That's Helena, Liza's daughter, singing to her husband Cole last month at the Mayo Clinic, when Liza's 5 children could still visit their dad, before coronavirus brought a new threat to cancer patients and others with compromised immune systems.
It's a difficult time right now for a lot of people.
Liza made a decision to separate herself from her children, they with their parents in St. Peter, and she with Cole.
Until I know that it's safe, that I don't want to expose him to anything unnecessary.
As long as necessary.
Where you go, I go. We've always said that to each other.
Their son Oli's first birthday last April, a week before Cole learned of the tumors in his pancreas that have spread to his liver. More treatment options exist, but there's no overstating the threat to Cole should COVID-19 find him.
This was our year anniversary gift. And it says, walk by faith.
Liza has an ask, a message for younger people like her.
Maybe there's a lot of people my age that don't see the importance of following all of the guidelines. They don't have a husband at home with cancer, and I think that it's hard to be in your mid-30s and think about those things.
So, if you still need a reason to stay home, here it is. A father who would like to get back to his kids.
Yes.
And a wife who will be at his side, regardless.
It's got to get easier at some point. I hope that it gets easier.
So we can't forget the symptoms here for the flu and COVID-19 because they are similar. Not to mention that it is allergy season, because Chris Holcomb was talking about how he was dealing with that, right? So here's a breakdown of the symptoms you need to watch out for. The symptoms for the coronavirus are fever, cough, shortness of breath, or difficulty breathing. Those symptoms will appear 2 to 14 days after someone is actually exposed. Now, with the flu, you might also experience a fever and a cough. With allergies, you might be sneezing, have an itchy nose or throat, a runny nose, or red, watery eyes. Now, these symptoms are important to look out for if you're trying to figure out if you have COVID-19 or maybe something else. You know, as more businesses are impacted by this, some people have asked us if supplies to grocery stores chains could be impacted. Our very own Bill Liss, he spoke with some of the biggest chains today and found out the supplies are sound for now.
The major issue, according to Atlanta's 2 major supermarkets, is not the supply chain, but rather the demand for product by the consumers. Publix alone says that last week it had more than 12,000 deliveries to its Publix supermarkets, and that does not guarantee that getting to the store early is going to get you what you need. These deliveries take place on a 24-hour schedule. Take a look at the store hours. Many of the Publix markets are closing early, so the stores can be sanitized overnight. And take a careful look now at limiting how much you purchase. In order to control the supply chain and the demand, the stores are limiting the number of things you can buy in certain product categories. Kroger says its supply chain is strong, and it's determining the frequency of deliveries depending on the size of the store. They're also asking manufacturers to prioritize exactly what they produce in order to get the highest priority items into those stores as soon as possible. Kroger also is limiting hours, just like Publix, and also limiting how much people can buy of those high priority items.
All right, switching gears right now, Senator Bernie Sanders is possibly reassessing his campaign after disappointing losses in more than 3 presidential primaries yesterday. But Sanders says anyone who thinks he is ending that campaign has it all wrong. Here's NBC's Alice Barr.
Bernie Sanders facing a very big decision after 3 more withering losses, speaking from the Capitol today before a Senate vote on an emergency coronavirus bill.
Anybody
who suggests that at this point we're ending our campaign is not telling the truth.
A spokesman saying today that with the next primary at least 3 weeks away, Senator Sanders will be speaking with supporters to assess his campaign. Joe Biden now ahead by a commanding 315 pledged delegates, as NBC News projects big wins in yesterday's contests in Florida, Illinois, and Arizona. Biden appealing directly to Sanders supporters.
I hear you. I know what's at stake.
Ballots were cautiously cast and carefully counted amid the coronavirus pandemic. Many voters and poll workers staying home out of concern over the virus. Ohio's governor chose to delay that state's primary against a judge's ruling. The head of the Democratic National Committee urging all states to hold mail-in voting for the next contests.
There are ways to hold elections so that we don't put people in harm's way.
The uncertainty only putting more pressure on Sanders to decide whether to leave the race or keep fighting, with Biden building a potentially insurmountable delegate lead and the country in crisis.
Throughout this election season, our Decision 2020 team is helping offer context and perspective on the huge issues like healthcare, the economy, immigration, and voter integrity. So let us know if there's a story out there that you want us to cover. And as a reminder, Georgia's presidential primary has been pushed back to May 19th. We know that health officials are working on the coronavirus and looking for a vaccine, but many are wondering why is it going to take so long to develop it? Our Why Guy answers that question next.
Transporting, we have to evolve.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m.
You see them all day, every day. Headlines, stats, and numbers, but without context, they're just clickbait. So let's add some perspective. The 3 most interesting numbers of the day, what they mean, and why they're important. News and numbers on Up Late.
What's the best part about
Your voice, it is never too loud or too much. Your voice has the power to tell it like it is.
Bringing us together to act.
Together, our voices grow. Together, we come alive, amplifying voices and breaking down barriers to change the story and shape the future. Together, we are unstoppable. Together, we are where Atlanta speaks.
Remember the old days, the old cliffhangers when we used to watch shows?
Hey,
and they
cliffhangers.
would, they would wait the next week. You're, what's going to happen to the $6 million man? He was hanging with his one bionic arm.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11Alive.
Atlanta. Almost 6 million people call the Metro home. But what makes this place so great? I'm 11Alive's Chesley McNeil. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why Atlanta is the best city in America. Come on, man. It's the heart of the South. And it's one of the most diverse cities around. People from all walks of life have come here and made it home. From different backgrounds, languages, and religions. And who can forget about the food? They all make this a cultural melting pot, full of great people and Southern hospitality. Atlanta's rich history is unmatched, known as the cradle of the civil rights movement for good reason. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Andrew Young, John Lewis, they all fought in the struggle for equal rights right here. Businesses on Sweet Auburn Avenue, local black churches, and college students from Atlanta all helped shape the future of America. Once an Olympic city, Atlanta's home to the best sports scene across the nation. Hey look, the South has something to say. You won't find more passionate fans anywhere. From the Atlanta Braves home run king, my man Hank Aaron, to the human highlight film Hawks Dominique Wilkins, some of the greatest athletes have come through Atlanta. We're talking the Falcons, the Braves, the Hawks, the MLS champs, Atlanta United. This city has something for every kind of sports fan. So what do you think? Is Atlanta the best city in America? Connect with us. Use Facebook or Instagram and tell us why this city's got it going on. And then watch us every weekday morning from 5 to 7 on the Morning Rush on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Babe, where are my keys?
Where's my lunch?
We committed to bring you updates on the coronavirus outbreak every 15 minutes as Georgia reports 197 cases, a number that could balloon next week as more kits for current possible cases are tested. NBC News is now reporting the first member of Congress to test positive for COVID-19. Congressman Mario Diaz-Balart is in quarantine in Washington, D.C. NBC News says that he's avoiding his home in South Florida where his wife, who is at risk, lives. As the coronavirus pandemic spreads, countries are taking every step to try to slow it down. And many of you have been asking about a possible vaccine and why is it taking so long? Here's our why guy.
With the world on edge, scientists are working to turn the COVID-19 coronavirus against itself. Work is well underway to create a vaccine that will offer protection in the future. There are indications that the research and testing could move faster than it has with other vaccines. Still, it's unlikely the general public will see a vaccine for this form of the coronavirus for a year or more. Here's why. The first step in the development of any vaccine is to study the illness itself. There's a part of each virus that will alert your body's immune system that something's wrong. Scientists locate that part of the virus, then use the information to design a vaccine that will tell your body to fight back.
That can be extremely time-consuming. People spend a lot of time to determine that piece and make sure it really works.
Before it's made available to the public, a vaccine is tested, first on animals, then a small group of people, then a larger group, and finally an even larger group.
To make sure that this particular vaccine is absolutely safe, then we're going to move on to make sure that it's, still stimulating the right response in humans.
COVID-19 is not the only form of the coronavirus. Work on vaccines for the other 6 forms that affect humans could help speed efforts to fight COVID-19.
Now, this is a different virus than the others, but the gains that we have so far are always helpful.
The first COVID-19 vaccine test on humans is underway earlier than expected.
We have dry weather conditions here in Atlanta right now. Over on the east side, we've been tracking some of these showers and, yeah, even some thunderstorms with thunder and lightning. Now, those are well to the east of Lake Oconee. This is Lake Oconee right here. Still a couple of showers there on the Putnam and Greene County line. A little bit of light shower activity north of Eatonton. But the heavier showers that have the thunder and lightning are over to the east of that. We've been keeping an eye on a couple of these with some thunder and lightning to the east of Washington, also up on the South Carolina line. We've had about 18 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes. We're beginning to seeing signs that is weakening, as you can kind of tell that as it moves into South Carolina, not quite as strong as they were a little bit earlier. But now back behind this in Atlanta, we are actually fine here, and we are setting up for a dry day tomorrow and a really nice, comfortable day with some sunshine mixing in with the clouds. We're not expecting any rain and temperatures up to 80 degrees for a high tomorrow. And then as we go into Friday, we're going to be watching what is left of this system that's causing strong storms right now in Texas and into parts of Oklahoma. We don't think the severe part of that is going to make it into our area. Are you ready for spring? Well, it begins tomorrow. Yeah, spring begins. The vernal equinox is tomorrow night at 11:49. And normally you think about spring beginning on the 21st. So sometimes it's on the 20th, sometimes it's on the 22nd, and even the 23rd. But this year, since it's just a little bit before midnight tomorrow night, it's going to be on the 19th, which is the earliest spring that we have had in 124 years. And it's when the sun is directly over the equator. And as you look at our spring forecast, this is from the Climate Prediction Center. They're thinking that temperatures are going to be warmer than normal for the spring months, and then precipitation still wetter than normal as we go into the spring months as well. And have you been having an issue with pollen? I have to be totally honest. I'm a little stuffy because of the allergies out there. And the pollen count 87 today, I was really surprised when it was only 87. And it's from pine, oak, birch, maple, and sycamore. Grasses are low, weeds are low, mold is low. Mold was higher earlier, and I think that's what kind of got me going a little bit. But I really think these pollen numbers are going to be higher over the next few days since we haven't had a lot of, persistent rain or anything. And especially on Friday morning's count that comes out after tomorrow, I think that one's going to be a high one as well with those temperatures that are going to be so warm. We're watching these disturbances that are going to be bringing rain to us. The second one comes in on Friday. It's going to be dry and warm Thursday. But that second one that comes in on Friday will give us the potential for a few thunderstorms around. But we don't think they will be severe. A 9 on the wasometer for Thursday. Highs near 80 degrees in the afternoon. Going to be really nice, and it will be a rain-free day. Here goes that rain out of Georgia into South Carolina. In the morning, we're going to start off with a few clouds around, but look how they'll be breaking up during the day on Thursday, giving us a little more sunshine in the afternoon, and that southerly flow that's transporting that warmer air in with those highs up to about 80 degrees. And then into Friday, we'll be dry the first part of the day, and then later on Friday, that's when we watch what's left of that system out to the west that's going to move in. We're thinking late afternoon in northwest Georgia, and then through the evening here into metro Atlanta, and then ending early on Saturday with some showers, maybe rumbles of thunder and flashes of lightning, but we don't expect anything severe. And that rain chance is going to be at about 60% Friday late in the day. Highs near 77. Still a 30% chance for a couple of showers Saturday and Sunday. A lot of dry hours, though. A little cooler at 71 Saturday, 62 on Sunday. Better rain chance Monday, and then a little lower at 30 to 40% Tuesday and Wednesday. But you can see those temperatures warming back up into the low and even mid-70s for the middle of the week.
Thanks a lot, Chris. You know, a Georgia Department of Corrections official says that one of its employees has confirmed one of the employees tested positive for COVID-19. And tonight, the ACLU of Georgia is urging state and local officials to reduce exposure and release people charged with low-level offenses who are in jail because they can't afford bond. They're also asking for immigration detainees in Georgia to be released. Our very own Elwin Lopez spoke to the ACLU executive director today.
While there are no confirmed cases of COVID-19 in ICE facilities, federal immigration officials are already taking steps to fight the virus. ICE suspended social visits to all of its detention facilities and is screening new detainees to identify those who are at a higher risk of exposure. The agency says it is also isolating detainees with fever and respiratory symptoms for observation. Georgia's ACLU executive director Andrea Young says those most vulnerable to the virus shouldn't be in an ICE detention facility during this time, and calls on local and federal officials to let them go.
To release the elderly that are being held in these immigrant detention centers, release people whose only offense is being in the country without documents.
But we come alive, amplifying voices and breaking down barriers to change the story and shape the future. Together, we are unstoppable. Together, we are where Atlanta speaks.
Remember the old days, the old cliffhangers when we used to watch shows?
Hate
and they
cliffhangers.
would, you know, they would wait the next week. You're, oh, what's going to happen to the $6 million man? He was hanging with his one bionic arm.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. only on 11Alive.
Atlanta. Almost 6 million people call the Metro home. But what makes this place so great? I'm 11Alive's Chesley McNeil. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why Atlanta is the best city in America. Come on, man. It's the heart of the South. And it's one of the most diverse cities around. People from all walks of life have come here and made it home. From different backgrounds, languages, and religions. And who can forget about the food? They all make this a cultural melting pot, full of great people and Southern hospitality. Atlanta's rich history is unmatched, known as the cradle of the civil rights movement for good reason. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Andrew Young, John Lewis, they all fought in the struggle for equal rights right here. Businesses on Sweet Auburn Avenue, local black churches, and college students from Atlanta all helped shape the future of America. Once an Olympic city, Atlanta's home to the best sports scene across the nation. Hey look, the South has something to say. You won't find more passionate fans anywhere. From the Atlanta Braves home run king, my man Hank Aaron, to the human highlight film Hawks Dominique Wilkins, some of the greatest athletes have come through Atlanta. We're talking the Falcons, the Braves, the Hawks, the MLS champs, Atlanta United. This city has something for every kind of sports fan. So what do you think? Is Atlanta the best city in America? Connect with us. Use Facebook or Instagram and tell us why this city's got it going on. And then watch us every weekday morning from 5 to 7 on the Morning Rush on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Babe, where are my keys?
Where's my lunch?
Where's my phone? Hey, where's my blue shirt?
Where's my pen? Have you seen it?
everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
I woke up at 2 in the morning to be here. Where were you?
Once you allow it, right, then it sets you up for the entire week where you just have lost it.
Like on a Sunday, it's like, oh, let's just order some Chinese food. And of course, you wind up eating tons of that. And then
Right now, an Atlanta mom is going viral for giving her children a unique homeschooling experience. So she invented a school of her own, and it's called the Corona Academy. 11Alive's photojournalist Charles Holmes has her story.
It's just school. I knew I had to do this with them. I knew we'd be stuck in the house, so I tried to make it fun for them. Okay, Zach, let's go to plus. 3 boys. 13. You need help with that? 7. Read that. And 2. This is just for now. We'll continue to do homework till this corona thing ends. Which, all of these? We had to have a half day yesterday. The little one was fighting. They go to Centennial Academy and they have Cyber Academy. And so the teachers send work to us and then, they have to complete it.
It reminds me exactly of school because we always have a schedule at school and now we always have a schedule at home. So it's basically like school.
10, we do prayer, then 10, we do 10:05, we do the schoolwork, and we exercise. I don't really have any advice. I'm just trying to make it fun for all of us, trying to survive this thing.
We're going to see those temperatures warming up to 80 degrees tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be a dry day. Some showers return Friday, a couple of thunderstorms late, but we don't think they'll be severe. Then scattered showers through the weekend, really low chance before the rain chance goes up again on Monday.
All right, Chris, I'll see you on Up Late at 11 o'clock on our sister station on 11Alive. Aisha and Jeff going to continue on with Primetime.
So you slept in and you missed Morning Rush, huh? Well, here's what you missed. In my experience, good guys do finish last.
I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
Jeff.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't finish last.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
You didn't get my text? The whole crew got together for coffee this morning.
I'm learning the taste of water because I'm sugary.
Yeah.
Right.
about that?
Reward would be
Slimming down. Okay.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, a little water in my cup.
And beautiful skin. Even more beautiful skin, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not gonna be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Some mornings, what you want isn't what you have time for. And that's why there's the Rush Blog, the biggest news of the day in 5 minutes or less. Quick and convenient for all those hectic mornings. Catch the Rush Blog on the Morning Rush.
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
Atlanta is filled with great photo spots. And of course, I would know because this is my hometown. I'm 11Alive's Francesca Amaker, and I'm about to show you my picks for the 3 best Instagram spots in Atlanta. The Outcast mural is one of Atlanta's newest hotspots. Created by the artist Jex, people flock from all over the world just to get a shot of these 2 hip-hop legends. News of the mural went viral when Big Boy himself gave a shout out on Instagram. You can find it tucked away in a back parking lot in Little 5 Points. An Atlanta icon, ever-changing, always interesting. The Krog Street Tunnel is full of artwork from some pretty eclectic Atlanta artists.
All we feel is good vibe with it, it's a good time. We don't worry about the hate, we just pass it to the side.
There's graffiti, community messages, concert announcements. You really never know what you're gonna get here, and that's what makes it so special. You can find it between Cabbagetown and Inman Park. If you've never checked it out, it's a must-see. There are hundreds of works of art along the Beltline. I'm talking murals, sculptures, photography. This beautiful mural was created by the artist Hints. It's 100 feet long, and even though it was created in 2014, it still remains very popular to musicians and photographers alike.
Live from Atlanta, 11 Alive at 10 on the ATL starts now. And now at 10, we have several new developments in the coronavirus outbreak. We are giving you facts, not fear. Here's what we know right now. 3 more deaths have been confirmed in Georgia from COVID-19. That brings the death toll to 4 in our state. We now have 197 cases.
As the cases rise, we're seeing a more aggressive response. Several malls in metro Atlanta are temporarily closed. South Fulton is joining Athens in issuing a curfew to try to curb the spread. And the president is offering more specifics about how the government plans to help people with stimulus checks.
New tonight, President Trump has signed a new coronavirus relief package, and the bill includes provisions for free coronavirus testing, paid emergency leave, food assistance, and unemployment benefits.
The bill is the second coronavirus response measure and is expected to be followed by a third package.
Now, Fulton County officials are stepping up their efforts to stop the spread, and it all begins with local state of emergency. 11 Alive Shanu Her explains for us tonight.
Board Chairman Rob Pitts says the Board of Commissioners met via teleconference for the first time ever today. And during that meeting, they declared a state of emergency for Fulton County. Chairman Pitts says by doing so, the county can now ask for federal and state funding should they become available. He says the county is also in a position to relax purchasing rules and regulations if they need to buy emergency equipment and supplies. Pitts says they're taking the lead of Governor Kemp and credits the governor for helping the county move forward aggressively.
But he's also, though, given us at the local level the opportunity to make adjustments as we see fit. So that really was the impetus for us declaring the state of emergency in Fulton County.
Positive cases of COVID-19 continue to rise in Fulton County. Coming up on 11 Alive News Primetime on the WATL, I'll tell you why they're trending so high in Fulton County and walk you through the numbers from the last several days.
The spike in cases in certain counties isn't exactly unexpected when you consider the size of their populations, but there is one county that stands out. Take a look at the number of cases in the top counties compared to how many people live in each, like Fulton, Cobb, and DeKalb top the list, but also have some of the biggest populations in the entire state. Bartow County is also at nearly 20 cases. Its population is just over 100,000. Part of the reason we're seeing a cluster there is because someone at a church got sick and many other church members were exposed.
Now, a family is figuring out how to stay safe when one of them has coronavirus, the other does not. Clay Bentley was exposed during a church service 2 weeks ago and became ill. He was in the hospital for 2 weeks. His doctors gave him the all clear to go home and self-quarantine. But his wife is also in the home and does not have the virus. So for now, he is living isolated in their master bedroom while she works in the guest room downstairs.
We're sharing a house. I'm still not seeing him a whole bunch. Always have a mask on and gloves and all that, but feels great to have him home.
Susie's quarantine from being exposed to Clay ends tomorrow. He will be under quarantine for the next 2 weeks.
Here's some positive news. Officials say the availability of tests is improving. Drive-through testing for the COVID-19 virus is popping up all over the country, with sites now operating in Cobb and Douglas counties. But instant tests don't mean instant results. Official numbers are lagging days behind the actual count of people infected because results are taking so long. Brendan Keefe investigates.
Journalist Nicole Vapp never wanted to become the story.
Just gave all my information and they gave us a testing kit.
She leads the investigative team at 9 News in Denver. But now she's being investigated for COVID-19 because of symptoms and contact with someone who already tested positive.
Okay, one more to go. We got this.
The drive-through tests keep potentially infected patients out of hospitals, away from vulnerable healthcare providers and each other.
Okay.
But these instant tests don't come with instant results.
It said it would be 72 hours. Even though my doctor told me it'd be 24, they said it would be 72. And I still haven't had results.
The vast majority of tests currently conducted in the United States are genetic. The patient is swabbed and then that sample is sent to the lab, which copies the DNA to match it against the genetic fingerprint of the coronavirus. It's a 4-hour test that typically takes days between the moment the sample is collected and when the results are sent to the doctor. The genetic test shows only if the virus was in your body at the time the sample was taken.
We're just sitting here waiting.
Nicole got no answer for 5 days. Then, right after this interview, she got the news. She was negative.
If someone's getting a test result back 5 days later, it just tells them they were negative 5 days ago. It doesn't tell them they're negative now.
Exactly. It's kind of a useless test at that point.
Some countries are using a test that involves a blood draw. The blood is sent to a lab which doesn't detect the virus itself, but looks for the antibodies we produce to fight the virus. That test takes the lab a few hours before the results are sent to the doctor. The antibody test shows if the patient has ever had the virus, including people who have recovered and would otherwise show up negative on the genetic test.
There's so many people that could have this that are running around.
Researchers around the globe are racing to develop an instant test that could be used in a doctor's office or emergency room with immediate positive or negative results. For now, here in the U.S., the people who can actually get in line to wait for a test then have to wait days longer to hear the verdict.
Marietta City Councilwoman Cheryl Robinson tells 11Alive she's quarantined at home after testing positive for COVID-19. Robinson says she felt fine on Tuesday of last week when she went to Cobb Energy Center to hear the opera. The next day, she fell ill and then had a fever and a cough. She called her doctor, later tested positive. Robinson is urging anybody feeling sick to avoid others and make a plan with her own doctor.
So all they can do is treat your symptoms. So stay home, call your doctor, see if your doctor will call in a prescription, and just stay home.
Robinson says her symptoms are similar to the flu, but magnified. She plans to call in from home for next week's City Council meeting to avoid exposing others.
College graduation ceremonies canceled for all public colleges and universities in Georgia. Thousands of students will miss the major life milestone while also trying to figure out how they're going to enter the workforce. Hope Ford found out students are navigating the new path the best way they can.
Such a great risk right now to have groups of people together.
No large gatherings means no college graduation ceremonies for students like Kate Athanasiades.
You're not having like graduation photos done. You're not walking across the stage shaking, the dean's hand.
Kate understands the precaution because of COVID-19. After all, she's a future nurse, finishing her studies at Emory. While the canceled ceremony is disappointing, Kate's anxiety is focused on something else. As a nursing student, she was scheduled to shadow a nurse at Grady Hospital, but the hands-on training is also canceled.
Since I won't have so many in-hospital clinical opportunities, how am I going to really build a good foundation for nursing?
Kate doesn't blame the hospitals for using caution. She's just grateful she already has a job offer, although there's uncertainty there as well.
My start date depends on when you can take the NCLEX, which is our licensing exam. So that's up in the air right now.
For 4 years, Kate's focused on the lessons she's learned in class. Now life is teaching her there are times she won't have all the answers.
It's weird not really having like a future in sight as well as far as like deadlines and goals, because so much of that is undecided and up in the air right now.
Universities like Georgia State said they will work to honor all graduates in an appropriate fashion. Private colleges like Spelman and Morehouse canceled their commitments as well. You can't help but feel the economic impact of this outbreak. Simon Malls is temporarily closing all of its stores until March 29th. Simon Property Group owns Lenox Square, Phipps Plaza, and Mall of Georgia, just to name a few in our area. Delta Airlines is also cutting capacity by 70%, according to our partners at the Atlanta Business Chronicle. Economists say this will impact all of us. Here's John Sherrick.
America, the world, has seen nothing like this. This widespread shutdown of the economy, workers in every sector of the economy facing imminent zero income.
So we're seeing the economy go through some serious disruptions.
Economist Tom Smith with Emory University's Gozueta School of Business says if the worst of the outbreak lasts maybe another month or two, it will be tough on everyone. But what can help, he says, includes government programs aimed at protecting the unemployed from mortgage foreclosures and car repossessions.
If they're going to include things like deferments on loans, whether or not they're going to give money to banks so that they don't foreclose on us. I mean, this is unknown, and so it's pretty unknown territory.
Just like the unknowns of the virus itself, Smith says, especially if the pandemic is prolonged.
In the long run, will people have to try to find a different job or try to find different ways of making money? I mean, that's where this prolonged impact is going to have such a different kind of effect. And so I am more worried about the long run trajectory of this economic recession.
The prospect of unprecedented economic upheaval and transformation.
We have an article dedicated to the latest updates on coronavirus in Georgia, so you can find them quickly and easily. You can find it on 11alive.com and on the 11Alive News app.
We've been watching some showers over on the east side that are moving away. Some of those were producing some thunder and lightning. Now, our focus turns to these storms in Texas. We'll let you know if they'll hold together enough to make it into our area.
Spending time apart from people could take a toll on your mental health. Up next, the online community that is supporting others.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m.
You see them all day, every day. Headlines, stats, and numbers, but without context, they're just clickbait. So let's add some perspective. The 3 most interesting numbers of the day, what they mean, and why they're important. News and numbers on Up Late.
What's the best part about
Your voice, it is never too loud or too much. Your voice has the power to tell it like it is.
Bringing us together to act.
Together our voices grow. Together we come alive, amplifying voices and breaking down barriers to change the story and shape the future. Together we are unstoppable. Together we are where Atlanta speaks.
Remember the old days, the old cliffhangers when we used to watch shows?
Hate
and they
cliffhangers.
would, they would wait the next week. You're, what's going to happen to the $6 million man? He was hanging with his one bionic arm. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11Alive.
Atlanta. Almost 6 million people call the Metro home. But what makes this place so great? I'm 11Alive's Chesley McNeil. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why Atlanta is the best city in America. Come on, man. It's the heart of the South. And it's one of the most diverse cities around. People from all walks of life have come here and made it home. From different backgrounds, languages, and religions. And who can forget about the food? They all make this a cultural melting pot, full of great people and Southern hospitality. Atlanta's rich history is unmatched, known as the cradle of the civil rights movement.
Tonight, an epidemiologist telling NBC News that we could be living with this virus for up to 2 years.
But does that mean living with these extreme restrictions for that amount of time? Not necessarily.
And our medical correspondent, Dr. Sujatha Reddy, explains what all this means.
Over time, we're going to learn more about it. More of us will have had it. We may develop the vaccine, we may develop medication and treatment. And what we're trying to do now is decrease the spread. And I think that's very, very important. And this is what was done, to some degree, different ways of doing it in China and these other countries. So I don't think we're going to be under this type of restriction in 18 to 24 months.
We are lucky to have Dr. Reddy here. She is absolutely the best in the city on television. A Georgia Department of Correction confirmed today that one of its employees tested positive for COVID-19. Tonight, the ACLU of Georgia is urging state and local officials to reduce exposure and release people charged with low-level offenses who currently are in jail because they cannot afford bond. They're also asking for immigration detainees in Georgia to be released. Elwin Lopez of 11Alive spoke to the ACLU executive director today.
While there are no confirmed cases of COVID-19 in ICE facilities, federal immigration officials are already taking steps to fight the virus. ICE suspended social visits to all of its detention facilities and is screening new detainees to identify those who are at a higher risk of exposure. The agency says it is also isolating detainees with fever and respiratory symptoms for observation. Georgia's ACLU Executive Director Andrea Young says those most vulnerable to the virus shouldn't be in an ICE detention facility during this time and calls on local and federal officials to let them go.
To release the elderly that are being held in these immigrant detention centers, release people whose only offense is being in the country without documents.
Some showers in some parts of metro Atlanta today, but we will get some sunshine very soon, Aisha.
Looking forward to it. Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb joins us with our forecast tonight. Hey, Chris.
Hey, and you know, spring begins tomorrow. It actually arrives late tomorrow night is the actual equinox, and we're going to be feeling a lot like springtime. Actually, we're going to be above average again tomorrow. Today's high was 78. Tomorrow, a little warmer at 80 degrees. Here's a look at radar. No rain going on in our area right now. We've been tracking some of these showers that have been over on the east side. They did impact Athens earlier, in parts of Oconee County earlier, in Jackson County, over toward Lake Oconee a little bit earlier. But now everything is pretty much moved over to the east, and it's not as strong as it was earlier. You can see Thompson, Georgia right here. Just to the north and east of that, we have a little bit of lightning, as that's just on the Georgia and South Carolina line, and that's moving over into South Carolina. A couple of additional showers to the south and west of Thompson, right here just south of I-20 before you get over into Hancock County. A couple of additional showers there too, and on down to the south, east of the Milledgeville area towards Sandersville, some showers, a little bit of lightning with that. But the important thing is all that is moving away. It's out of here, and we have dry weather for the rest of the night, and tomorrow is going to be a dry day. But then we focus on this system that's causing severe weather. We have a tornado watch in effect in parts of Texas right now. Severe thunderstorm warnings, even a couple of tornado warnings now to the west of Dallas. And this is part of the system that's going to be coming into our area late on Friday. But by the time it gets to Georgia, we think it's going to be a lot weaker, and we're not really concerned about a severe weather chance. Here's a live look out there right now. You can see what we're watching. When you take a look at what we expect over the next 12 hours, it's going to stay mild. We're really not going to see these temperatures dropping too much. Right now, we're at 68, kind of a mild night, and we're going to hold in the 60s overnight, in the morning, right around 60 to maybe even 59 in some spots, then back up to 64 at 10 o'clock in the morning with that mixture of sunshine and clouds. And tomorrow looks like it's going to be a rain-free day. We're not calling for any rain chances. That low in the morning of 60. We get up to 80 in the afternoon, so a couple of degrees warmer than we were today. I know that's not a lot warmer than today, but 78 versus 80, when you hear the word 80 or the temperature of 80, it makes it feel like it's going to be a lot hotter, but it's going to be a good day. That moisture moves out. We start off with a few clouds early in the morning, and then at lunchtime, that mix of sun and clouds, and then for the afternoon, that southerly flow really clearing us out. We'll see a good bit of sunshine in the afternoon as we warm up to 80 degrees, and then dry weather sticking with us on Friday morning. We begin to see the clouds building back in later in the day on Friday, and then what is left of that system that's out to the west will begin to move into northwest Georgia late Friday afternoon, and then approaching metro Atlanta later on Friday. We will have some rain with that, some pockets of moderate, maybe a little bit of heavy rain, and even some thunder and lightning possible, but the severe weather part of that, or the threat with that, is going to be on the low end. In fact, I'm not really calling for any severe weather at all late here on Friday. And then going into Saturday and Sunday, we'll hold on to just a few rain chances, only at about 30%. And then rain chances continuing into Monday with a 60% chance for showers Monday. And then lower rain chances on Tuesday and Wednesday. Also watch these temperatures, 80 degrees for a high Thursday, and then 77 Friday. Cooler Saturday at 71, and even lower 60s here for Sunday. Mid-60s Monday, and then back to the 70s on Tuesday and also on Wednesday. It's time now for our weather wow moment. Plenty of people are getting outside to enjoy the nice weather. This picture is from Christine Wilcox in the Winder area. She was out getting some fresh air and just couldn't help but sharing that beautiful sight with us. And we love seeing your weather wow moments. And we see a lot of them on our 11Alive Storm Trackers page. We'd love for you to be a part of that on Facebook. Just search 11Alive Storm Trackers. Ask to become a member of that group, and we'll approve you to be a part of this exclusive local weather community.
Well, the longer we spend apart from everyone, the more we realize we need these daily interactions for our own mental health. More and more churches and support groups are going virtual. Ryan Kruger shows us the online community of support for others.
We wanted to send a message out to people.
As a longtime amateur filmmaker, Reverend Joseph McBrayer feels right at home when he's online, streaming church services and weekly messages through social media.
On YouTube and Facebook, it will go live. And so people are interacting with each other in that feed. There's something about watching it online together.
Wednesday night dinner is a pretty big deal here at Oak Grove United Methodist Church in DeKalb County. Nearly 300 people of all ages come here every week. And now church leaders are personally calling many church members who are in those vulnerable populations.
Just actually call somebody. Text messaging is nice, but just pick up the phone and call them.
Substance use disorder does not discriminate, nor does COVID-19. I want to encourage you, if you're feeling alone, if you need somebody to talk to.
Knowing that routine can be such an important part of recovery, the Georgia Council on Substance Abuse is now holding online recovery meetings starting on Thursday.
Stay safe, we love you, be strong, and remember recovery is real.
When the pastor at Philadelphia Missionary Church had to close his doors physically, he opened them up virtually.
They can call, they can be anonymous if they want to. And so I guess God just kind of put it on my heart.
And we've put all the information about the recovery meetings and church services online. Look for this story on 11Alive News on the app. So many people have questions about face masks and preventing COVID-19. Our verified team takes a closer look, including when you should use them and which ones work best.
Headlines, stats, and numbers, but without context, they're just clickbait. So let's add some perspective. The three most interesting numbers of the day, what they mean, and why they're important. News and numbers on Up Late.
What's the best part about
Your voice, it is never too loud or too much. Your voice has the power to tell it like it is.
Bringing us together to act.
Together our voices grow. Together we come alive. Amplifying voices and breaking down barriers to change the story and shape the future. Together we are unstoppable. Together we are where Atlanta speaks.
Remember the old days, the old cliffhangers when we used to watch shows?
Hey,
and they
cliffhangers.
would, you know, they would wait the next week. You're, oh, what's going to happen to the $6 million man? He was hanging with his one bionic arm. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11Alive.
Atlanta. Almost 6 million people call the Metro home. But what makes this place so great? I'm 11Alive's Chesley McNeil. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why Atlanta is the best city in America. Come on, man. It's the heart of the South. And it's one of the most diverse cities around. People from all walks of life have come here and made it home. From different backgrounds, languages, and religions. And who can forget about the food? They all make this a cultural melting pot, full of great people and Southern hospitality. Atlanta's rich history is unmatched, known as the cradle of the civil rights movement for good reason. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Andrew Young, John Lewis, they all fought in the struggle for equal rights right here. Businesses on Sweet Auburn Avenue, local black churches, and college students from Atlanta all helped shape the future of America. Once an Olympic city, Atlanta's home to the best sports scene across the nation. Hey look, the South has something to say. You won't find more passionate fans anywhere. From the Atlanta Braves home run king, my man Hank Aaron, to the human highlight film Hawks' Dominique Wilkins, some of the greatest athletes have come through Atlanta. We're talking the Falcons, the Braves, the Hawks, the MLS champs, Atlanta United. This city has something for every kind of sports fan. So what do you think? Is Atlanta the best city in America? Connect with us. Use Facebook or Instagram and tell us why this city's got it going on. And then watch us every weekday morning from 5 to 7 on the Morning Rush on 11Alive.
Televised newscast not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find... All right, so we get so many questions when it comes to face masks and protecting yourself from coronavirus. Questions about if they work and if there is a certain kind you should buy. And you've likely heard a lot of answers over the past few weeks. So our verified team is focusing on the facts. Here's Aaron Kozoff.
The verified team is here to break down myths and get to the truth. And with the spread of the coronavirus, our focus is on facts, not fear. A lot of people have asked about masks, when to wear them and which to buy. So let's verify. Do certain masks work better than others? Now, our sources for this one are the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the World Health Organization, and the U.S. Surgeon General. First, we should emphasize, all three of our sources say most healthy people do not need to wear masks. The WHO says they should be reserved for people taking care of patients or those showing symptoms like cough, fever, and difficulty breathing. Everyone else shouldn't buy these masks, prompting messages like this from the Surgeon General. Seriously, people, stop buying masks. So let's get into the science. There are two types of masks: surgical masks, which you've seen before, and something called N95 respirators. Surgical masks are loose-fitting, and they're pretty ineffective in stopping smaller airborne particles or viruses. Meanwhile, N95s are a tighter fit, so they filter out about 95% of airborne particles. So we can verify, not all masks are created equal, and respirators are far more effective in combating viruses than your typical surgical mask. But we should emphasize once again, our health experts all said that you should not buy masks if you're healthy.
All right, save your money, no mask. All right, time for me to head out to get ready for Up Late, coming up in about 35 minutes on 11Alive. Join myself if you're up late with Ron Jones and Chris Holcomb. We'll be there with more news and weather. Jeff?
We look forward to your update with all of the information on 11Alive tonight, Aisha. Thanks a lot. We appreciate you being here. Here's what's coming up on the Big 36 on the ATL. Senator Bernie Sanders lost to Joe Biden in all but 3 primaries last night. We look at where his campaign goes from here.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. It's in my drafts. That's my bad. I gotta let it feel it. I gotta.
So you slept in and you missed morning rush, huh? Well, here's what you missed. In my experience, good guys do finish last.
I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
Jess.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't finish last.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
You didn't get my text? The whole crew got together for coffee this morning. I'm learning the taste of water, because I'm sugary.
Okay,
Right.
About that.
One reward would be
Slimming down. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. A little water in my cup.
And beautiful skin. You know, even more beautiful skin, you know, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not gonna be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Some mornings, what you want isn't what you have time for. And that's why there's the Rush Blog, the biggest news of the day in 5 minutes or less. Quick and convenient for all those hectic mornings. Catch the Rush Blog on the Morning Rush.
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
Atlanta is filled with great photo spots. And of course, I would know because this is my hometown. I'm 11Alive's Francesca Amaker, and I'm about to show you my picks for the 3 best Instagram spots in Atlanta. The Outcast mural is one of Atlanta's newest hotspots. Created by the artist Jex, people flock from all over the world just to get a shot of these 2 hip-hop legends. News of the mural went viral when Big Boy himself gave a shout out on Instagram. You can find it tucked away in a back parking lot in Little 5 Points. An Atlanta icon, ever-changing, always interesting. The Krog Street Tunnel is full of artwork from some pretty eclectic Atlanta artists.
Yeah, all we feel is good vibe with it.
it's a good time. We don't worry about the hate, we just pass it to the side.
There's graffiti, community messages, concert announcements. You really never know what you're gonna get here, and that's what makes it so special. You can find it between Cabbagetown and Inman Park. If you've never checked it out, it's a must-see. There are hundreds of works of art along the Beltline. I'm talking murals, sculptures, photography. This beautiful mural was created by the artist Hence. It's 100 feet long, and even though it was created in 2014, it still remains very popular to musicians and photographers alike.
Coronavirus at this point has touched every state in our country with more than 6,000 cases nationwide. While states like New York and Washington much worse off than Georgia, we're still nearing 200 cases. Right now there are 197 cases across 28 counties. There are 159 counties in Georgia, as you may know. The number is particularly high in Fulton County, where there are 49 cases. Now, Fulton County officials stepping up their efforts to stop the spread, and it all begins with a local state of emergency. Here's 11Alive's Shanu Her to explain.
Board Chairman Rob Pitts says the Board of Commissioners met via teleconference for the first time ever today, and during that meeting, they declared a state of emergency for Fulton County. Chairman Pitts says by doing so, the county can now ask for federal and state funding should they become available. He says the county is also in a position to relax purchasing rules and regulations if they need to buy emergency equipment and supplies. Pitts says they're taking the lead of Governor Kemp and credits the governor for helping the county move forward aggressively.
But he's also, though, given us at the local level the opportunity to make adjustments as we see fit. So that really was the impetus for us declaring the state of emergency in Fulton County.
Positive cases of COVID-19 continue to rise in Fulton County. Coming up on 11Alive News Primetime on the WATL, I'll tell you why they're trending so high in Fulton County and walk you through the numbers from the last several days.
And we all need to take steps to protect ourselves against the virus, but we must remember to help those most at risk, including older people and those with existing medical conditions. Some grocery chains have adjusted their hours to allow people who have self-quarantined to get access to shop before the rest of the public. And it's not just older people. One reason is the economy is shutting down because people are self-quarantined. 11Alive's Doug Richards has more on what they're doing and why.
In residential neighborhoods like this one, life looks pretty normal until you look a little bit below the surface.
We have stopped going to church.
Larry and Jane Crane are doing a lot of yard work these days because there's not much else to do.
We're doing nothing. I'm working puzzles and working in the yard. That's it.
The Cranes, age 70, say they have self-quarantined for weeks, all but eliminating activities that take them off their property in Tucker.
I'm being careful and staying away, and I even worry about coming down to open the mailbox, you know?
Let's go with the country fried steak.
At Matthew's Cafeteria in downtown Tucker, the dining has shut down. Business has dried up, except for a few folks scrambling up to take away meals. Kim Cresswell picked up a lunch.
For me, I think I needed to be safe and pull back before. For me also, I need more information. And until I get that information, I'm going to err on the side of caution.
When the Target store at Northlake opened its doors at 8 a.m., many of those waiting were people who expected to return home and then stay home. The store is among those welcoming elderly guests and health vulnerable during its first hour of business. 67-year-old David Hall was among them.
Any other thing, I'll just lock myself in and stay. Yeah, I just stay out. Yeah, I'm almost scared to come out.
And now you're going back into self-quarantine?
Yeah, I'm going back into self-quarantine.
Distancing yourself from other people is what experts recommend during this pandemic. What they can't tell you is for how long.
The symptoms for the flu and COVID-19 can be similar, not to mention it's allergy season. Here's a breakdown of symptoms you need to watch. The symptoms of coronavirus: fever, cough, shortness of breath, or difficulty in breathing. Those symptoms appear 2 to 14 days after somebody is exposed. Now, with the flu, you might also experience a fever and cough. With allergies, you might be sneezing, itchy nose or throat, runny nose, or red and watery eyes. These symptoms are important to look for if you're trying to figure out if you have COVID-19 or if it's the flu or if it's allergies. One of the industries hurting most in all of this, the airlines. Today we saw more cuts from Delta. To do that, Delta is cutting capacity by 70%. Amazing. According to our partners at the Atlanta Business Chronicle, all Delta officers will be cutting their pay in half through June 30th. Directors and managing directors will take a 25% cut, and every single member of Delta's board of directors will forego their payment for the next 6 months. More than half of Delta's planes will stay on the ground, and finally, it is closing the majority of its Delta Sky Club. CEO Ed Bastian has already given up 6 months of salary. As more businesses are impacted by this, some people have asked us if supplies to grocery stores and chains could indeed be impacted. Bill has talked to some of the biggest chains today and found the supplies are sound for now.
The major issue, according to Atlanta's 2 major supermarkets, is not the supply chain, but rather the demand for product by the consumers. Publix alone says that last week it had more than 12,000 deliveries to its Publix supermarkets, and that does not guarantee that getting to the store early is going to get you what you need. These deliveries take place on a 24-hour schedule. Take a look at the store hours. Many of the Publix markets are closing early, so the stores can be sanitized overnight. And take a careful look now at limiting how much you purchase. In order to control the supply chain and the demand, the stores are limiting the number of things you can buy in certain product categories. Kroger says its supply chain is strong, and it's determining the frequency of deliveries depending on the size of the store. They're also asking manufacturers to prioritize exactly what they produce in order to get the highest priority items into those stores as soon as possible. Kroger also is limiting hours, just like Publix, and also limiting how much people can buy of those high priority items.
A viral graphic comparing the U.S. coronavirus cases to those in Italy seemed to show that we're on the exact same path, and we had our Verify team look into whether it was accurate or what it could mean. Here's Jason Puckett.
This graph keeps popping up and it keeps getting updated. It shows coronavirus cases in Italy compared to the United States, and it seems to show that we're on the same track. Now that looks bad. Italy announced a nationwide quarantine last week, and Italy currently has the second most cases of coronavirus after China. So are we going down that same path? Well, not exactly. The Surgeon General said Monday that we're about 2 weeks behind Italy right now. And this chart changes a lot when you add context, like the populations of Italy and the US, for instance. Italy has about 62 million to our 329 million. We have about 5 times more people. And look at the size. Italy is about the same size as Arizona. So imagine cramming a fifth our total population into just Arizona, and you'll start to see why this chart isn't a fair comparison. The same numbers on this chart actually mean different things for our countries. Take the last number, for instance, about 28,000 cases in Italy on Monday. That's about 0.05% of Italy's population. The same number would be 0.008% of the US population. That's 1 in 2,500 Italians versus 1 in 12,000 Americans. So we can verify. The numbers in this chart are accurate, but it doesn't provide contexts like population and size. And that makes it seem like the US is heading down the same path as Italy. Adjusted numbers look much less frightening. If you see more claims out there like this, send us an email.
Senator Bernie Sanders said to be reassessing his campaign. It's hard to imagine him going forward after losing in 3 more presidential primaries 24 hours ago. But the senator from Vermont says anybody who thinks he is ending his campaign, they got it wrong. Here's NBC's Alice Barr.
Bernie Sanders facing a very big decision after 3 more withering losses, speaking from the Capitol today before a Senate vote on an emergency coronavirus bill.
Anybody who suggests that at this point we're ending our campaign is not telling the truth.
A spokesman saying today that with the next primary at least 3 weeks away, Senator Sanders will be speaking with supporters to assess his campaign. Joe Biden now ahead by a commanding 315 pledged delegates, as NBC News projects big wins in yesterday's contests in Florida, Illinois, and Arizona. Biden appealing directly to Sanders supporters.
I hear you. I know what's at stake.
Slide it on in.
Ballots were cautiously cast and carefully counted amid the coronavirus pandemic. Many voters and poll workers staying home out of concern over the virus. Ohio's governor chose to delay that state's primary against a judge's ruling. The head of the Democratic National Committee urging all states to hold mail-in voting for the next contests.
There are ways to hold elections so that we don't put people in harm's way.
The uncertainty only putting more pressure on Sanders to decide whether to leave the race or keep fighting, with Biden building a potentially insurmountable delegate lead and the country in crisis.
And now NBC News is also taking a look at, let's see where we're going here. President Trump is the presumptive Republican nominee, that we know. And throughout the election season, our Decision 2020 team is helping offer context and perspective on the big issues like health care, the economy, immigration, and voter integrity. Let us know if there is a story you want us to cover. And as a reminder, Georgia's presidential primary, as you know, has been pushed back to May 19th. We know that health officials are working on a coronavirus vaccine, but many wonder why it is going to take so long to develop. Our Why Guy taking that question to heart, and you will hear from him coming up next.
And spring officially arrives late tomorrow night with the vernal equinox, and it's going to be feeling really warm here tomorrow. Stay with us. We're tracking a system out to the west that has some storms with it. We'll let you know if those will make it here.
There's a trickle-down effect to sports, the cancellations, postponements. It changes everything. You pick a sport, you pick an athlete. For some of these young guys who are hoping to make the NFL, it may be a lost opportunity. We'll talk about that coming up next.
5 to 7 a.m.
You see them all day, every day. Headlines, stats, and numbers, but without context, they're just clickbait. So let's add some perspective. The 3 most interesting numbers of the day, what they mean, and why they're important. News and numbers on Up Late.
What's the best part about your voice? It is never too loud or too much. Your voice has the power to tell it like it is.
Bringing us together to act.
Together, our voices grow. Together, we come alive, amplifying voices and breaking down barriers to change the story and shape the future. Together, we are unstoppable. Together, we are where Atlanta speaks.
Remember the old days, the old cliffhangers when we used to watch shows?
Hey,
and they
cliffhangers.
would, they would wait the next week. You were, what's going to happen to the $6 million man? He was hanging with his one bionic arm. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11Alive.
Atlanta. Almost 6 million people call the Metro home. But what makes this place so great? I'm 11Alive's Chesley McNeil. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why Atlanta is the best city in America. Come on, man. It's the heart of the South. And it's one of the most diverse cities around. People from all walks of life have come here and made it home. From different backgrounds, languages, and religions. And who can forget about the food? They all make this a cultural melting pot, full of great people and Southern hospitality. Atlanta's rich history is unmatched, known as the cradle of the civil rights movement for good reason. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Andrew Young, John Lewis, they all fought in the struggle for equal rights right here. Businesses on Sweet Auburn Avenue, local black churches, and college students from Atlanta all helped shape the future of America. Once an Olympic city, Atlanta's home to the best sports scene across the nation. Hey look, the South has something to say. You won't find more passionate fans anywhere. From the Atlanta Braves home run king, my man Hank Aaron, to the human highlight film Hawks' Dominique Wilkins, some of the greatest athletes have come through Atlanta. We're talking the Falcons, the Braves, the Hawks, the MLS champs, Atlanta United. This city has something for every kind of sports fan. So what do you think? Is Atlanta the best city in America? Connect with us. Use Facebook or Instagram and tell us why this city's got it going on. And then watch us every weekday morning from 5 to 7 on the Morning Rush on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Babe, where are my keys?
Where's my lunch?
Where's my phone? Hey, where's my blue shirt?
Where's my pen? Have you seen it?
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
I woke up at 2 in the morning to be here. Where were you?
Once you allow it, right, then it sets you up for the entire week where you just have lost it.
Like on a Sunday, it's like, oh, let's just order some Chinese food, and of course you wind up eating tons of that. And then on Monday you're like, well, I got leftovers, I can't let it go to waste.
President Trump says the U.S. will be temporarily closing the border with Canada due to the coronavirus pandemic. He indicated it was a mutual decision between the two countries. He says the closure includes all non-essential traffic. However, the president emphasized that trade will not be affected. As the coronavirus pandemic spreads, countries are taking every step they can to slow its spread. Many of you have been asking about a possible vaccine and why it's taking so long. Here's our Why Guy.
With the world on edge, scientists are working to turn the COVID-19 coronavirus against itself. Work is well underway to create a vaccine that will offer protection in the future. There are indications that the research and testing could move faster than it has with other vaccines. Still, it's unlikely the general public will see a vaccine for this form of the coronavirus for a year or more. Here's why. The first step in the development of any vaccine is to study the illness itself. There's a part of each virus that will alert your body's immune system that something's wrong. Scientists locate that part of the virus, then use the information to design a vaccine that will tell your body to fight back.
That can be extremely time-consuming. People spend a lot of time to determine that piece and make sure it really works.
Before it's made available to the public, a vaccine is tested, first on animals, then a small group of people, then a larger group, and finally an even larger group.
To make sure that this particular vaccine is absolutely safe, then we're going to move on to make sure that it's, still stimulating the right response in humans.
COVID-19 is not the only form of the coronavirus. Work on vaccines for the other 6 forms that affect humans could help speed efforts to fight COVID-19.
Now, this is a different virus than the others, but the gains that we have so far are always helpful.
The first COVID-19 vaccine test on humans is underway, earlier than expected.
If you have a question for Jerry Carnes, our Why Guy, you can send it to us on Facebook, Twitter, or email. Right now, an Atlanta mother is going viral for giving her children a unique homeschooling experience. She invented a school of her own. It is called the Corona Academy. 11Alive photojournalist Charles Holmes has her story.
It's just school. I knew I had to do this with them. I knew we'd be stuck in the house, so I tried to make it fun for them. Okay, Zach, let's go to plus 3 boys. 13, you need help with that? 7, read that, and 2. This is just for now. We'll continue to do homework till this corona thing ends. Which, all of these? We had to have a half day yesterday. The little one was fighting. They go to Centennial Academy and they have Cyber Academy. And so the teachers send work to us and then, they have to complete it.
It reminds me exactly of school because we always have a schedule at school. And now we always have a schedule at home. So it's basically like school.
10, we do prayer, then 10, we do 10:05, we do the schoolwork, and we exercise. I don't really have any advice. I'm just trying to make it fun for all of us, trying to survive this thing.
Well, the temperatures are warming and it seems like everything is in bloom. I'm meteorologist Samantha Moore, one of your 11Alive storm trackers, and the cherry blossoms are popping, the azaleas are out, but it's those other pollens that you may not notice that could be giving you the sneezing fits. It's the pine, the oak, the birch, the maple, and the sycamore trees that are highest today, the pollen count being at 87. Not so much the grasses and weeds right now, but these problematic pollens that are making our eyes itch and making us want to sneeze are these tree pollens. So at the temperatures warming the next couple of days, that's likely to lead to higher pollen counts. Time to keep all that allergy gear close at hand. And of course, we're all stocked well with paper products right now, hopefully. Well, coming up in the 6 o'clock hour, we'll talk more about the temperature trend and why the nicest day of the week will likely be tomorrow, the first day of spring.
Hey, we'll talk about that right now as we have dry weather conditions here. You know, I was really surprised when I saw earlier this morning the pollen count that was only 87. I'm feeling it. I know a lot of you are feeling it out there. I really think these numbers are going to be increasing over the next few days, especially the count that comes out on Friday morning after we have a dry day tomorrow and high temperatures up to around 80 degrees. So we'll keep you posted on those pollen counts as we go through the next few days and as we get to that peak time, which is usually the beginning of April. Here's a look at the dry weather over us now. We've been watching some of these showers that have been over on the east side. They continue to move away from us. We had some good rain in Covington earlier, over near Lake Oconee, up near Athens and the Oconee County area, and that's all moving away now. Some of that had some thunder and lightning, and even some of those storms had 40-mile-an-hour winds, but that's all moving away. We're drying out for now, and tomorrow is going to be dry, and then we're going to be watching this next system, really what's left of this system in Dallas that is causing a tornado watch, even some tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings here to the west of Dallas. That's going to be a lot weaker by the time it makes it into our area on Friday, but it will bring us a rain chance later in the day on Friday. Well, as Sam mentioned, spring begins tomorrow. The vernal equinox is actually at 11:49 on Thursday. And you know, a lot of times when you think about the first day of spring, it's usually on the March 21st. Sometimes it extends to the 20th or maybe even to the 22nd or 23rd. But this spring begins on March 19th. Now, it's just 11 minutes before midnight, so it barely got to March 19th. But this is the earliest time we've had the vernal equinox in 124 years. So it's not often where spring begins on March 19th. And that's when the sun lines up directly over the equator. And if you want to know what we're expecting for our springtime forecast, this is what the Climate Prediction Center is forecasting, as temperatures should be warmer than normal, and then precipitation or rain, it looks like it's going to be wetter than normal, and we're used to being wetter than normal, aren't we, with that rainfall surplus right now, a little bit more than 11 inches. We're going to be mild overnight. Also dry, temperatures in the morning going down into the lower 60s, and then we warm up to 80 in the afternoon. So a nice way to bring in the first day of springtime with partly cloudy skies. At times we'll see more clouds than sun, but I do think we'll see more sunshine breaking through in the afternoon. On a scale from 1 to 11, where an 11 is a perfect day, we're going to go with a 9 on the wazometer. There goes that rain as it moves out over into South Carolina. In the morning, a few clouds to start. But look at this, at lunchtime, a mix of sun and clouds. But in the afternoon, more sun breaks through. That southerly flow warms us up to 80 degrees in the afternoon hours. Now, here's that forecast for the rest of the period. On Friday, we'll see the showers developing later in the day, maybe some thunder and lightning, but we don't think that system's going to be severe when it makes it here. Saturday and Sunday, just a 30% chance for showers. Cooler Sunday. Monday, a better chance for showers up to 64, and then just a 30 to 40% chance Tuesday and Wednesday as we warm back up into the 70s.
Cancellations, postponements, seasons ended prematurely. It is the way of the sports world right now, but it doesn't mean that athletes have stopped working toward their dreams. Here's Alex Glaze.
In one way or another, the coronavirus has affected almost everybody. For some NFL prospects, their shot at getting in front of NFL scouts at their respective pro days was called off.
Of course, I was devastated, but I kept my faith, kept going strong. I wasn't really too worried about it. I just asked Manny, like, hey, what time we working out today?
Manny Rodriguez is a trainer at U48 Fitness. He recognizes how important pro day is and how not having that opportunity to showcase talents in front of scouts will affect a lot of athletes.
That was the biggest interview within the next 5 to 7 years. Not that football is everything, but this is something that they lived out their whole childhood life. A lot of these guys are going to get affected by this if they don't really showcase what they have. They're always going to feel like they didn't have an opportunity to do something that they love and that they could make it.
Even with pro days canceled, many athletes are continuing to work. Guys like Christian Anguillo. He's a cornerback who played at Hampton University. Not only was his pro day canceled, but so was the NFL's first historically black colleges and universities combine, which he was invited to.
Sometimes you can't control like external factors. All you can really do is, stay focused, keep working your craft.
And that is exactly what these athletes are doing, working on their craft. So when the time comes, when their name is called and they have the opportunity to play professional football, they'll be ready.
The U48 training facility planning to do a virtual pro day for some of the area's top prospects as soon as it is safe to do so. We'll take a break. We're back right after this.
Auntie, don't invite me to the barbecue.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
The 11Alive app is your go-to source for all things Atlanta.
You hear what happened today? I'll tell you all about it.
Breaking news the moment it happens.
The boil water advisory.
Hyper-local, accurate weather alert.
You may want to grab that sweater, maybe even a coat.
More stories to uncover. More videos to discover.
He did it his way.
Personalized for you.
And that's what makes it so special.
The 11Alive app. Available now in the App Store.
Hey, I got the ways to go. I got moves to make, homie, but I stay in the flow. So y'all just do what I say I'ma do. No, my movement ain't faded. You could assume what I'm doing was greater.
Oh, and so I was saying, there is always something filming here in Atlanta. From movies to TV shows, you name it. And so the A Scene keeps up with all of it for you. Casting calls, which big celebrities are in town, what's filming, and if it's in your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. Ah, it's in my drafts. That's my bad.
So you slept in and you missed Morning Rush, huh? Well, here's what you missed. In my experience, good guys do finish last.
I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't finish last.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
You didn't get my text? The whole crew got together for coffee this morning. I'm learning the taste of water, because I'm sugary.
Okay,
right.
about that.
Well, reward would be
Slimming down. Okay,
Yes,
yeah,
okay.
a little water in my
yes.
cup.
And beautiful skin. You know, even more beautiful skin, you know, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not going to be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Some mornings, what you want isn't what you have time for. And that's why there's the Rush Blog, the biggest news of the day in 5 minutes or less. Quick and convenient.
Great day tomorrow. It's going to be dry. We don't expect any rain, and it's going to be warm, up to 80 degrees for a high temperature. Then we're watching that system out to the west that comes in on Friday. That'll bring a few showers in, maybe some thunderstorms late, but we don't think they will be severe. Saturday and Sunday's rain chances on the low end at 30%. We're at 71 Saturday. A little cooler Sunday. Monday, the rain chance is higher at 60%, and then a 30 to 40% chance for showers Tuesday and Wednesday as we move back up into the 70s.
Chris, thanks for all your work today. We appreciate it, and we appreciate you watching us here on 11Alive News at 10. Switch to 11Alive now for the news at 11. Good night, everyone.
Two hip-hop legends. News of the mural went viral when Big Boy himself gave a shout out on Instagram. You can find it tucked away in a back parking lot in Little 5 Points. An Atlanta icon, ever-changing, always interesting. The Krog Street Tunnel is full of artwork from some pretty eclectic Atlanta artists.
Yeah, all we feel is good vibe. When you vibe with it, it's a good time. We don't worry about the hate, we just pass it to the side.
There's graffiti, community messages, concert announcements. You really never know what you're gonna get here, and that's what makes it so special. You can find it between Cabbagetown and Inman Park. If you've never checked it out, it's a must-see. There are hundreds of works of art along the Beltline. I'm talking murals, sculptures, photography. This beautiful mural was created by the artist Hence. It's 100 feet long, and even though it was created in 2014, it still remains very popular to musicians and photographers alike. You can find it on the East Side Trail under Virginia Avenue. So let me know what you think. It doesn't have to be street art. Maybe your favorite spot is down the street from your home or a great view. Connect with me on Facebook and Instagram and share your favorite Instagram spots in Atlanta. And come hang out with me on Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been?
It looks like fun.
They are fun.
And they're
convenient. But they're being dumped everywhere.
5,000 scooters at one time active throughout the city. I enjoy them myself. They're fun. There's got to be some regulations.
I just feel like we have to evolve with the times, though. They're not going anywhere. They shouldn't go anywhere. It's a new way of transporting. We have to evolve.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m.
You see them all day, every day. Headlines, stats, and numbers, but without context, they're just clickbait. So let's add some perspective. The 3 most interesting numbers of the day, what they mean, and why they're important. News and numbers on Up Late.
What's the best part about your voice? It is never too loud or too much. Your voice has the power to tell it like it is.
Bringing us together to act.
Together, our voices grow. Together, we come alive, amplifying voices and breaking down barriers to change the story and shape the future. Together, we are unstoppable. Together, we are where Atlanta speaks.
Remember the old days, the old cliffhangers when we used to watch shows?
Hey,
and they
cliffhangers.
would, they would wait.